Exploding heads. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whenever you're listening. Welcome to the show. I'm here with the man of a million podcasts, the guy that's following in my shoes, and the rookie of the year. My co-hosts, they are Brandon and they are Christian, and I'm Dave Z. Say hello, co-hosts.
Hey.
Hello, Squish.
Squish, nice.
I was waiting for you to introduce us as Squish and Squash.
Oh man, see, I think I said it earlier. I go, you should bring the show in today because you did a fucking all right when we were pre-gaming, and I was like, you should bring the show in. Go ahead, see. I tell you, maybe we're gonna have to rotate bringing the show in. Just
I think people would tune out. They'd be like, wait, that's not Dave Z. Yeah. Wrong podcast.
Yeah.
Who the fuck am I? I can barely even do a fucking intro. What am I doing, you know?
That's what we love about you. We wait for each individual fuck up every week.
Yeah.
Right.
Warts and all, as you say. Warts and all.
Yeah, it's... And totally. And that's how we do whatever it is. It's a one-take fucker, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Except for all the editing I do.
I keep telling you to do less and less and less.
Oh, I'm trying.
The public has spoken. They're okay with us being live like this. So.
Pre-recorded live.
Yeah, pre-recorded live. Right. Live. Coming at you live. MOODZ. Shout out to Boots. I don't think he's listening, but I'm still shouting out to him.
What up, homie?
That was good.
He always does that.
Wow, that was good.
And I always got with me my Mexican homie.
Wow, I'm going to try to do a real cool intro. Nah, I can't. I got to do it Dave Z style.
You do a really cool intro. You be you.
You be you.
Yep, and you be you. Yeah.
And I'll be me.
It's a one-take fucker, as Richard Simmons would say. You know? Did you guys ever hear that shit? When Richard Simmons is that YouTube video of all the Richard Simmons bloopers?
No, I've never seen that.
Dude. Christian, have you seen them?
No.
Dude, go to fucking YouTube and just type in Richard Simmons, I don't know, bloopers or something. Oh, it's great. There's these... It starts off, for real.
The exercise guy?
Yes, Richard Simmons. Yep.
Yeah.
And he's fucking...
No, the lead singer from Kiss.
Yeah. Yeah, Gene's son.
Gene's son, Richard. Who wears the short shorts.
Daddy.
Yeah, man, Richard Simmons. You gotta watch that video. It's funny because it starts off, he's like sitting on a bed. It's like a glamorous shot, and then for real, dude, it's like a seductive type thing. And then moving in real slow, and all of a sudden he just goes, fuck, he says. And then they cut it, and he just does these things, and he's talking to somebody. He's getting a little heated at one point. He's like, we're just going to do, I guess it's going to be a one-take fucker, he says. Oh, it's great.
That's going to be our new thing. We got to get Clay and Simmons on here.
Let's do it.
It's like the Stern Show.
Yeah.
But a podcast with no money behind it.
Who needs money?
Yeah.
Money taints everything.
Yeah, imagine if we did get money.
I wouldn't be any funnier.
No, but you'd be richer.
Yes.
Right? That would be nice, but whatever. Dare to dream, ladies and gentlemen.
Episode 14. Wow.
Episode 14, yeah. Today
monetizing this shit.
Yeah.
I just kidding.
This is going to be a fun, relaxing show. We're doing a review of Hush as our main event, and we're playing around with the rest because, this is how we're doing it now on the show before the big one and the show after the big one. Because, the big ones are always on the fives. My co-host can't seem to catch on to that when I say it, but
I got it now. In fact,
you figured it out?
I figured it out. It's like weather on the ones.
Okay, yes.
It's franchise on the fives.
It's who?
Franchise on the fives.
Oh, wow. Fucking very good, dude.
Right?
Yes, it's not always franchise.
Yeah, but it's not always franchise.
It's not always franchise. It could be a director's spotlight on the fives, but that doesn't sound as cool.
Right. Actually, we haven't even done a franchise yet.
But we do have one planned.
But we do have one. We may as well say it now. Fuck. Well, I was going to wait till the end of the show, but let's do it naturally. We are going to do our first franchise show and it should be arriving right at the perfect time because it's a summer series and it's going to be summer and it should be at the perfect time. So we are going to cover, and this is for you, Cody Robinson. I was just telling him the other day because this is his favorite franchise. But Cody Robinson, we are doing, I know you know what it is now, we're doing Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We.
French Canadian?
No, that was like a less excited. Yeah.
Oh! It was a little. You were facetious.
It's so. You know what it is? No, I can be honest here. There are movies that when I grew up, I'm like I laughed at them, but I still liked them, and I still watch them every now and then and whatnot. And then I guess it's just that we're surrounded by a bunch of horror fans, and I'm not used to it because there's all these movies that when I was young I thought were garbage, but that I still watched and admired. I guess is maybe admired might be a little strong of a term, but people love this movie. I think it was like practically in the lead when we're doing the polls on the Facebook page. It won for the year. That's even more depressing. Because well, no, let's be honest. Well, we'll get to it. I guess why blow my load tonight?
No, I'm with you, Chris. I'm a little surprised that some of these movies are as popular, especially when it comes to wanting to hear people talk about them.
And I'm not trying to be. I don't mean to be offensive by any means. I'm just saying it is really surprising. Like
you can't help it. You're Canadian. It happens.
Like Halloween 3. When I was young, I instantly dismissed it. I thought even when I was young, I hated it. And I mentioned this on the show the last time. I said over time, I'm like, actually, this is a really creepy, fun movie on its own. But when I was a kid, I hated it. And now when people are saying, oh, it's one of the best in the franchise. And it's just shocking to me because I've always been around people that said it's bar none the worst, the worst one. And then, of course, Resurrection came out and then that took the But I mean, it was just universally always felt like the people I grew up around and whatnot. And even when I first started getting on the internet and whatnot, it always seemed like Halloween 3 was garbage. And there's certain movies that were garbage, but it's kind of great when some horror fans hold these movies in such a high regard. And there you said, Cody's, it's his favorite franchise. So yeah, I'm really interested in talking about it, but I'm surprised.
Well, if you're a slasher fan, it's a fun series.
Cody really struck a nerve with Christian. Run, Cody.
I got the bleach and I'm waiting for you, boy.
He's got extra Comet.
Yeah.
I tell you, I've never talked about Sleepaway Camp on any show I've ever done, any of them. Like, I might have mentioned it in passing, but I've never reviewed it, never done a fucking really gave much opinion. So I'm excited about that. That's what's great about this show is fucking doing new things, man.
Yeah. Me too.
So
we did talk about it on TGIF 13, and it was funny when we recorded that episode. When we turned it off, Vince and I said, "Oh well, there it is. We hit rock bottom. That was absolutely our worst episode. We're eating chips during it and everything." I edited the thing. I texted Vince right away. I'm like, Vince, I can't stop laughing. This may be our funniest episode. And I said, I don't know what happened, but it just maybe because I don't know what we thought we did. But when I recorded it, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it does suck. But I thought it was one of our funniest episodes, especially the musical part. But if you're interested, and Cody, if you want to get wet your lips a little before we tackle it on Exploding Heads, check it out and let us know.
Yes.
Wet your whistle.
Wet your whistle. Wet your lips.
Yeah, man. Fucking, that was a good show. I couldn't believe you said that. But we were just saying it before the show. Again, a lot of times you think something doesn't come out good and you're concerned about it. You're like, I didn't think that went well. And you listen back and it ends up being great. It's just, I don't know.
And it's true that we might have Pamela and Bruce Springsteen on the show next week. Or 2 weeks.
Glory days. Yeah, man. They're going to be doing a fucking duet. Imagine that.
Well, I'm a happy camper.
Oh, I'm a happy camper.
I love the stars and sky. We're talking way too much about Sleepaway Camp right now.
I know.
Is this the franchise show?
Yeah,
ratings. Let's do ratings.
I can't do it though. I haven't got my Blu-rays yet, but they are coming this week.
You know what?
I finally got
I think I'm gonna buy them.
Yeah, dude. Well, they had that big Amazon sale. Fucking $12.99.
I missed it. I missed it.
Dude, I had no right doing it, but I had $100 on a credit card, and I fucking did it, even though I shouldn't have, just because I couldn't pass by those prices.
Yeah,
You'll never
great
see
prices.
Yeah, $12.99 for Screen Factory shit. I spent $110, man. I fucking
Nice.
want, Yeah, I said I gotta get. Now listen to what these fuckers are trying to do. Sleepaway 2 and 3 are gonna be here next week, which is awesome. I have 3 other ones. I have 2 that arrived. Those 3 are coming next week, and I have 3 other ones that are yet to be shipped. They sent me an email saying fucking that they're still out of inventory. That might be a little while longer. Do you want to cancel the order?
Hell no.
So, no fucking way. I don't care when they come. As long as they come. I got plenty of movies, plenty of shit to watch. But because of the price being so low, they're just trying to fucking weasel the fuck out of it.
They're trying to get some money back. Like, shit, we went too low.
Yeah, they did. They went low and fucking those bad. But I can't complain. They'll
probably take your slip covers away just to make you suffer.
Oh, dude, I got the first 2 without slip covers, and I'll tell you what, I've never gotten Scream Factory without slip covers. Slip covers. What is that?
Whoa! Dave Z stroking out on us.
Oh, dude, my mind's fucked. Oh, dude. Yeah,
I'm mad because I used to have the medical box set. And in my heyday, when I got rid of all those laser discs, somehow the Sleepaway Camp medical box set got sold, and so I don't have it anymore.
Somehow it got sold. Did it happen to get signed by Clive Barker before it got sold?
Yeah, so Adam said everything. He's like, I have nothing to do with this. Just sign the fucking movie, Clive.
Sign it. I'm selling everything. You're gonna make me a pretty penny.
I'm here to promote my book. Book schmuck. Sign the fucking DVD.
Yeah, sign it. I need to wet my whistle.
Wet your whistle. That's the fucking phrase of the day, huh? Nice. It's gonna be.
So you got your first Scream Factories without slipcovers?
I did. Yeah, I got Dolls and The Day of the Dead.
Now, honestly, like I get it. Like as a collector, it would bother me a little. But does it really bother you when it comes down to that good of a price?
No, I mean, I can't say I wasn't disappointed that I didn't have the slipcovers.
Yeah, it bothers you a little, the completionist in you. You know, you want to
cool
have the whole... Yeah.
They really are.
I do find that I feel bad, though, because I also got shipped these slipcovers, but I didn't need them, so I sold them on eBay, too. Had I known, I would have kept them.
Yeah, and they happen to be for Dolls and Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
Right?
I didn't even and there was just slip covers for no reason whatsoever. So
this guy selling slip covers and digital codes,
right?
No, I agree. I would never sell a digital code. That just goes out.
Christian's a multimillionaire from selling digital codes.
Yeah. I've had people ask me to sell digital codes, just like have messaged me on Facebook saying, "Hey, would you consider selling me digital codes for $1 a pop?" And I never have. I just given them, but half the time I'm just too lazy to be even bothered with it. So
to be honest, if somebody wants a digital code from me, I just give it to them. I don't screw that.
If I answer them, I mean, fucking a lot of time.
I'm so busy.
I'm lazy. I don't want to fucking go get a digital code. I just don't want to get up and do it.
Oh, it's upstairs, man. I'm downstairs.
Man, I gotta open the Blu-ray case. It's inside. What? I gotta take the slipcover off, then I gotta open the Amaray.
Cough up $20, asshole. Buy the movie. I don't want to walk 20 feet up the stairs.
Well, speaking of that,
podcast to record.
The 22 shots, guys, and I'm including Jeremy in this. They're starting they're not pissing me off. I'm joking around here, but it's getting a little annoying hearing about them complaining about being sent multiple screeners. Artsploitation sent me 2 copies of this movie. Why? Fuck you.
Right.
Yeah, anybody doesn't want their doubles, just send them my way.
Yeah, please. I don't even get fucking... I don't talk to those people and get their screeners. I'll get screeners from Jason or some shit like that, but...
We probably should at some point. At least maybe if we were to look at some of the releases based on certain companies, see if there's anything interesting that we'd like to review, maybe ahead of time before it comes out.
Yeah, but we got to get on YouTube. They don't give a fuck about podcasts for some reason.
They don't?
No.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I've never reached out to anyone, so.
I have, and I hear you got to be a fucking YouTuber.
Well, you're a blue tuber. Is that close enough?
I had a feeling you were gonna say that.
Yeah, blue tuber.
I love blue. What can I say? I held out on blue for fucking years. For years, I held out on blue, and then one day, well, I know exactly what day it was. It was Halloween, and
it's the day Toshiba said no more HD DVD.
No, I had nothing, but I had a PS3. Yeah, okay, I had a PS3. And I knew that it played Blu-rays, but I just never went out and bought them. And then I got a gift, and it was the Halloween. Remember that Halloween set with Michael's mask in it? It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It comes with weird ones though. It came with 25 Years of Terror, which was the real reason I wanted it. And then it came with Halloween, of course, and then like 4 and 5 or some shit. It was weird, and like the TV cut of 1, and that it came with the blue.
And Sleepaway Camp 2 was in there. It's very strange. Strange box.
Just a slipcover.
Just a slipcover for Sleepaway Camp 2.
With Pamela and Bruce doing the fucking on the outtakes.
That would be awesome if they had Bruce on those covers, on those Part 2 and 3 collector's editions.
Yeah, they should have like put.
They should have stuck
like,
his head in there, like I don't know, like one of those things where you have to like blur your eyes to see it. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Like you blur your eyes staring at the cover, and then all of a sudden Bruce pops up.
Oh, okay. Well, what I was saying was Halloween Blu-ray. It came in that box set, and I watched Halloween on Blu-ray for the first time. And you know how many times I've seen Halloween? Probably as many times as you guys. A fucking shitload. And I'm watching Halloween on this Blu-ray, and I'm like, wow, this is good quality. And then I'm noticing things I never noticed in the movie before. I was like, I never saw Michael there fucking before. What the fuck? Look at this.
Michael Myers is in this movie? Who the hell is Michael Myers?
Yeah, it was actually Halloween 3. My mistake. No, but seriously, it blew me the fuck away. BLU.
Did it Blu-ray you away?
Yes.
You know, I gotta be honest. It's starting to rub off on me. Oh, hey, stop rubbing off on me. To be honest, like I want the Blu-rays for everything. Like I'm starting to upgrade a few things, and I swore I would never do that, but I'm cleaning shop on some of the DVDs, giving stuff away to friends.
Good for you. I sold mine. I just
sell them. Get Clive to sign them. And sell them.
Yeah. Yep.
CB, we call him CB.
CB. CB. I know CL, CB.
We got a CB and a BC on this show now.
Oh.
And speaking of BC, he sent us an email that I couldn't read last show because he sent us 2 and we were going long. So I have an email to read from BC today. So, well, fuck. I guess I'll read it now.
Is someone vacuuming?
Oh, that's my other computer running below this one.
Oh my god!
Vacuuming. Let me shut it the fuck off. Someone vacuuming.
Dave is a multitasker. He's vacuuming and hosting.
I gotta host this show. Get these fucking carpets looking spickety span.
I got a fucking beer in one hand, a
Dyson in the other.
Yeah. I said a Dyson before you.
A Dyson. And a fucking dice. A dice clay.
Dyson clay.
Just because we got to bring them up one way or the other on the show.
Why do I vacuum this carpet? I should be munching it.
Dyson clay.
It's all carpet jokes.
Holy fuck. Well, how about BC? As I shut down the vacuum. There you go. There you go. See? No more vacuum.
The whole intro's ruined.
Whatever.
I'm kidding.
It was from the start. It's okay. Shit. Okay, yeah, BC. Send us another email, and we're going to read it. It's about the invitation. So, we should have read this one last show because it was fresh off the invitation show. But, oh well. My mistake.
That's not how we do things.
No, you're right. We're cliffhangers that are 2 shows late. Oh, and by the way, there was supposed to be a special guest, and obviously he's not here. So we'll try to get him again. But we had a little mix-up. Not a mix-up, just shit happened. Shit happened with him. Shit happened with me. And so sorry. Maybe Bruce will be here next show. So anyway, Bill, BC. Again, great show, guys. Sorry it took me so long to write, but this was a movie I have not yet seen. So I had to stop listening as soon as you started to talk about it. Then rent the film on Amazon before finishing the episode. Okay, now he's talking about this movie. First off, holy shit. I can leave it up to you guys to recommend... Yes, I can leave it up to you guys to recommend a great movie. The ending had my jaw drop. When I started the movie, my mind went immediately to that the hosts and other party guests were werewolves. Or were coyotes. Or were coyotes. Not were coyotes.
They're were-coyotes. Weroties.
Werewolf, yeah. And that they had hit Choi on the way to the party. Then I thought maybe they were cannibals and that they were having them over for dinner. After those two ideas were thankfully not what was going on, I really got into the movie. I found myself watching how the camera moves and how certain scenes were lit and shot. This was one well-done film enhanced by a great script and masterful acting. Speaking of which, I recognize the guy who played Pruitt as Drew Carey's transvestite brother, Steve, on Drew Carey's show. Oh, he's a good actor, that guy. Fuck.
Yep.
I never watched Drew Carey, so I can't. You know that this is not a joke. Are you guys familiar with the Drew Carey show at all?
It stars Drew Carey. That's about all I know.
Okay, that's good. But you've seen commercials and shit when it was running, right?
Yeah, back in the day, right?
Okay.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
Does it have to do with another character on the show?
I think it does.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I think you're gonna say that you thought that Drew was playing two characters, right?
Yes, I did.
You thought he was the woman, didn't you?
I did.
Yes.
How? You thought it too?
I remember. I don't think that you were the only one who thought that.
I never said it before.
No, but I feel like a lot of people felt that way. I never really watched the show. I saw it here and there, but I couldn't really tell you much about it. But like that's the first thing that popped into mind when you were gonna bring it up. I'm like, he probably thought the female character was Drew Carey, like in a dress. I
did, and I never watched the show. And one day I did, and fucking it wasn't obviously. I mean, I think she's heavier than he is, but whatever. That's what I thought it was. I'm shocked. I'm shocked that you fucking picked up on that vibe.
Yeah, I knew it.
Wow. Okay, and Christian's pretty quiet about it.
Holy smokes!
It's like stop talking about the Canadians.
That's great.
Aren't you at a loss for words after that?
Me?
Yeah, blew me away. That didn't blow you away that he fucking knew what I was going to say?
That does blow me away. But yeah, I was trying to picture the woman now, and I don't remember at the woman at all. I'm going to have to Google it or something.
Google it.
Or internet movie database it.
Yes.
Yeah. IMDb. Please use me.
No, I'll be Googling this one. Fucking
right.
assholes.
Kathy Kinney.
Kathy Kinney. Google her. Or as I said earlier, Google her. Because my fucking mind's slipping out of my ears, I think, at this point. Okay. Steve on the Drew Carey show. Talent is how he can truly be funny in one project and terrifying in another. When the movie ended, I thought it reminded me of Scientology. To how a self-help cult can spread in a place like Los Angeles. Sorry, I can't read. As well as New York, Miami, and other cities. Perhaps the event has been in the works for more than 2 years. David and Eden were gone. Maybe Dr. Joseph had the idea in motion 10 years ago. Heaven's Gate gang used Halley's Comet. As a matter of fact, tonight, the planet Earth will be closest to Mars in a long time.
Did somebody say comet?
Halley's Comet, he said.
Comet?
Yeah.
Are we bleaching?
Did someone say comet?
The first asshole bleach reference of the night. Yes.
Oh, I think it was the second.
No, yeah, it was definitely the second.
Oh, you're right. It was the second. Someone mentioned bleach. That's right. All right, I'm slipping. My ears are falling out of my brain. See, I can't even speak.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you. You were actually really reading quite well.
You know, I figured out why I didn't read this last time. Because it's really long. That's why.
You did say that the last, and you said we were going to leave that for the next show.
Okay, well, let's finish it.
So long.
As a matter of fact, jeez, BC. Okay, as a matter of fact, though,
Jeez, BC, who's your publisher for your emails? Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
The planet Earth will be closest to Mars in a long time. For the record, I counted 14 lanterns in the neighborhood. Oh fuck, he's got trouble. All right. Anyway, my thoughts were wondering how the little boy died. We know it involved a baseball bat, and that Will should have been watching him better. But it wasn't very clear to me how the kid died. Also, the chubby guy Ben. He said that his wife was home with the kids. I thought about what was going to happen the next morning, finding the body stabbed and shot in the face. Wow, that's powerful stuff. Eden's last words, she started to say something, only getting out, I hope we, meet again in the afterlife, live through this. We're right. I'm guessing it's another thing we have to come up with ourselves. One more important question. Did Tommy ever get that blowjob he asked for when playing the I Want game? And if so, by whom?
He did, by Christian.
Laugh a minute.
Yeah, I was expecting you to say it about me.
Yeah. It's much more highbrow than that. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just saw that Drew Carey picture. They don't even look remotely alike.
Oh, man. Come on.
Not even close.
They're both fat and had glasses and had short hair.
Drew Carey's like a foot taller than her.
And male.
And male.
Anyway. It's funny, though, that you guys both thought that.
Yeah, dude. It is funny. Look, to me, this is 10 times anything Ty West could do. I hated House of the Devil. Wow, isn't that odd?
Whoa.
Easy, BC.
He hated House of the Devil because that wasn't slow. That was boring with one decent scene and a very obvious twist that surprised no one. Well, that's what I said about this one, but that was a deep, tension-mounting horror film, which makes you think. I despise the term slow burn because I was around when they were just called movies. Yeah, I know what he's saying there, totally. I give this one a 9 out of 10 myself. Here's to the next episode. Yours, BC.
Nice. That's awesome.
That's cool.
It is a great email. And it's funny because we use the term slow burn when we're doing the House of Pine Street Burn Offerings episode.
Yes.
And he's not going to like my take on House of the Devil.
I would say that...
I don't think he'll like any of ours, probably. I think we were all pretty favorable on House of the Devil. HOD.
You were okay with it.
HOTD.
That email was a slow burn, though.
Hot D.
But a good one.
That email was a slow burn.
But it was a good one. It was enjoyable. It took me it seemed like 10 minutes to read it.
What did he say? He counted 14 lanterns in the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I counted like 14 paragraphs in that email.
I love it. We fucking begged people to send emails in, and now we're destroying them.
No, Bill's actually really awesome. I really like this guy. He posts really funny stuff. He posted some video today of some guy talking about Hero Quest, the board game, this like role playing game. I've never played the game. I've never heard of the game, but just the video he posted of some guy like doing a rant about it was so funny.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
No, he does post funny stuff. I just haven't been on Facebook much.
That makes two of us. I wonder if by the time this drops, I'm back on.
I just haven't been on. No, you've actually left. I just haven't been on as busy as I usually am, or as much as I usually. Oh my god, I can't even talk. I'm not on as much as I. Yeah, fuck it, I can't even say it.
Maybe you should get off Facebook.
I haven't been on today much.
Actually, I've gotten worse since I got off Facebook. So I don't know what that's saying about me. Fuck.
You guys are fumbling your words. You know what I think you really need to do before we really get going here?
Jerk off?
No, wet your whistles.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you want to take 5, I'll ask my wife if she'll wet my whistle for me. Christian could do, Christian, you could do the same, you know?
Keep the microphone on.
It did.
Let's do it. Let's not tell the wives. Yeah. We'll fucking get him in here and say, well, we decided to ditch the show, but you know what? Come here, baby. And just fucking let it record.
Yeah.
Whew, man.
I have this. Mine's on a big mic pole though, so it might be a little awkward. I'm like, what's that? Oh, nothing, honey. Nothing.
Yeah, you can't do it unless you get kinky and say, "Hey, let's do a fucking movie or something," you know.
Will my heavy breathing bother either of you?
We could really get him going to put the fucking video Skype on. Oh shit!
You wanted to see some exploded heads.
This was more like a mini shots episode.
Yeah.
Oh man, we're in fucking rare form. Holy fuck. Okay, let me steer the ship back to the email. Travis Christian sent us an email. Hey guys, what do you get when you cross a Jew, a Canadian, and a New Yorker? A pretty darn good show. I don't know if y'all realize it or not, but you guys just broke Banana Laser's record. What?
What record is this?
On show 12, you guys referenced the dick in under 60 seconds.
The dick?
I guess we broke the record.
Well, you introduced Christian pretty quickly, so.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Damn, he's on fire tonight.
You're pretty funny. You are funny tonight.
There you go. Keep up the great work, guys. Headite, Travis Christian. Well, thank you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
BC and...
Thanks, TC and BC.
Yeah, thanks them both. Thanks them both. See? Fucking
would you do me a favor and wet your whistle?
I gotta fucking wet something. Holy fuck. I'm fucking a goner. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna read a review for Exploding Heads because we have been doing that lately, right?
Yeah.
So I can't remember the ones we read last time and if I read 2 or not. So I guess instead of starting from the bottom like I had been, I'm gonna start from the top until I can catch up. We still need another, we still only have 9 write-ins. We need one more. But anyway, let's talk about the first review we ever got. It came from Skull. Oh, no, Skull. Sorry, your eyes don't work. What the fuck? It came from Sully 130. That might be, I think I know who that might be. But
is that the guy who landed the plane?
What plane?
In the Hudson? Sully?
I don't know.
Captain Sully.
Moscow on the Hudson? I don't know. Captain Sully?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is that?
That's the real guy, the real pilot who landed the plane in the Hudson River.
Yeah.
I thought it was from a movie. I thought it was from a John Carpenter film.
No, it was true.
That was Windows.
Mac and Windows, yep. Okay, let me read this. From the ashes of a banana comes... That's the headline. I can't fucking speak.
Oh my god.
I know.
I gotta choking on cock tonight.
My brain is fucking fried. Oh man. Okay.
Maybe it was the weed.
Wow. The funny thing is the weed is when I'm usually the best. Usually I'm fucking up when I'm sober. And then if I catch a buzz, I'm usually better. I'm more focused, but not tonight. Okay. Okay. Sully, from the ashes of a banana comes. Okay. 5 stars, thank you. This is a podcast which has formed post-Banana Laser podcast, and what a way to come back. With Dave Z at the helm, the trio rocks out with reviews and opinions which I find very entertaining. They have a great balance of horror movie knowledge and humor to keep me involved. I listened to several movie casts on rotation, and this one quickly made the list for me. Listen and enjoy.
Beautiful.
Right.
Yeah, thanks, Sully.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your service.
And that's all. Brandon, did you get any listener topics that you asked for him?
Oh yeah, let me pull that up.
There's a bleached asshole.
There is the first question.
Is there now?
Oh my god.
Good. Well, we have 3 bleached asshole references in fucking less than an hour.
How awesome is the Exploding Heads page? We're closing in on 400 members already.
As soon as I take a break from Facebook, it blows up. Really?
Yeah. Well, that's when they came in. They're like, "Is he really gone?" I'm like, "Yeah, come on in."
That fucking annoying asshole. He's posting fucking 5 things a day here.
Yeah.
We like it when there's just 1 thing a day.
I tried to keep up. I just didn't have it in me.
Oh, I only got like 5 replies. Oh yeah, Marco. Marco wrote, since you guys love to talk about bleaching your assholes, who would you like in the horror world to do that routine for you?
What, bleach their asshole?
Bleach ours. You can pick somebody in the horror world. You know, you could pick like Danielle Harris or Freddy Krueger. I don't know why those. I don't know why those are the 2 choices.
Or Freddy Krueger.
I like pain.
I was gonna say, so either you want a fucking a hot piece of ass to fucking do it, or a guy that just might fucking tear up your rectum.
Yeah, but that hot piece of ass looking at your ass. Yeah.
Hey, okay, Danielle Harris. Thank you. You answered for me. I would, yeah, I'd let her do it for me.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Yeah, okay.
She's gonna win?
No, I can't think.
She's gonna win. Yeah, that's weird. You gotta have like out of everybody in the horror community, that's who's gonna. I'd go with Freddy for you, Brandon.
For me?
No, for Brandon.
No, I'm gonna go with the
Black Phillip?
the girl from New Blood.
Lark Park?
Lark Park Lincoln?
Yeah, Lark Lincoln.
Ooh, I'm rubbing off on you, man. It's not just...
Whoa, I just stroked out a little. Lark Park Lincoln. Yeah, because she could do it telekinetically. Like you see, like the comet can like floating through the air towards my butt.
Comet.
I love how that's how it's being done. I hope to hell there's not someone out there going, "Hey, Christian and his wife tried this. I really got to try this." Like they're like fucking scrubbing comet into their asses. That's not how you do it.
No.
I posted the cream. There's a cream out there that I've never tried.
All I saw was the comet, and it just made me laugh. I was like, okay, I'll just pour comet in there.
What the fuck?
He's like, his ass is gargling comet.
And then spit it right in.
What, your whistle? What'd you say?
What if I whistle? Bleach it. Well, I think I'll have to steal an answer from the last podcast and steal that girl from Friday the 13th, 2009. The one with the stupendous tits. Juliana Gills? I don't even know if I'm saying her name right, but
Gil, I think it's
yeah.
Gil.
That's her real name?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's hot. She was hot in that movie, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we had the other post on here was Aaron West was looking for our review of Hush, but he didn't realize we hadn't recorded it yet.
But
he's interested. He says, "I'm interested in your thoughts. I found the film to be frustrating as hell."
Interesting.
To which Jason Lloyd replies, "I dug the hell out of it."
Mm-hmm.
And then the Ram Man. Can I call him the Ram Man?
Yeah, why not? He is the Ram Man.
No, I know he is, but like I don't know him like you do.
Well,
yeah, you can't call him that. Dave, I think, is only allowed to call him that.
I don't think he cares. Ram Man's pretty mellow.
He writes, "What do you think of films like Blade, Predator, Dracula Untold, Underworld, and The Terminator? Can they be considered horror films, or are they leaning more towards the action genre?"
Action, and action.
Yeah, I mean, we do classify them. I mean, we classified Blade as horror because it's vampires and, you know, Dracula, obviously.
True.
Underworld. True. I mean, I would think Terminator is definitely action.
Yes.
Predator, I would definitely lean more towards action. The other one have, you know, vampires and werewolves in it, so we classify them as horror, but they're definitely more action style.
Yeah, Blade, though, Blade is action horror, but
yeah,
it's one of the best ones, you know?
Yeah, and I'm not a big lover of what the modern, you know, retellings of the Draculas and the Frankensteins are doing, you know, making them more action films.
No.
I don't like that.
No.
Although I heard this,
Yeah.
I heard the Dracula film, not Dracula, the Frankenstein film that came out this year. It's supposed, I think it's this year or the end of last year. It's supposed to be really good.
I heard that too.
I haven't checked it out yet.
Victor Frankenstein?
No, not that one.
Not that one. It was
That one's
another-
considered. There's another one just called Frankenstein, and
Yep.
I think it's about Frankenstein like at an all boys academy or something. Supposedly it's really well done.
No wonder you're interested.
I got the lotion, I got the tissues, and the comment ready. I'm set on all fronts. I'm set on all fronts and backs.
Oh man.
And then
Bleached.
last comment is from Cameron Dennis, who wrote John Goodman should have shot the stalker, then dumped his body in a barrel of acid.
Shot the stalker.
Is he talking about Hush?
I don't
John
know.
Goodman wasn't in Hush. I thought he was talking about Cloverfield.
No, but I think he might be mashing up movies.
Wait a minute.
He
Can you
might
say
be.
that
Well, no,
again?
there's literally no like context to it. Like he could just be joking around.
What did he
like,
say now?
He literally writes John Goodman should have shot the stalker, then dumped his body in a barrel of acid.
Well, there was a bit.
He did have the barrel of acid, and he put what's his name? Oh, okay, never mind. We're idiots. You do realize the stalker in Hush is Emmett from Cloverfield Lane,
Yes.
who we put. Okay, so that's why he's saying it, because it is fully connected, because he played the character.
Yes, I had no clue actually until you just said it. I'm like, oh my god. Yes.
You
so
know
we
what?
are idiots.
I knew it the first
full-fledged
time I
idiot.
watched it. I knew it the second time I watched it, and I forgot both times after.
Me too.
Because I kept looking it up to see who the cast was, because obviously with a film with like 4 actors pretty much in it, you want to see who everyone is.
True.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that would have been a great twist ending if like Goodman just showed up at the end, just rocked him over the head with that rock that.
But he had to like drive a truck with that horn from the Lost Boys. And then like just this big like he just catapults in with like this big tub of acid.
Wouldn't you just once in your life like to make an entrance like that, blowing a horn, playing a song, and crashing through a house like they do in the movies, and saving the day? It would be awesome, man. Because it's happened in more than one movie, right? For some reason, I could think of like 3 or 4 different scenarios where somebody would like honking an unusual horn and crashing through a place to save the day. Doesn't that seem like some shit that happens?
Yeah, in movies.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yes, in movies. Yeah, I mean, besides the Lost Boys, it happens in other movies as well, right? That's what I was getting at.
Yeah, because you can't really safely do it in real life without probably killing a half a dozen people.
Yeah.
Every time it's done in the movies, everybody happens to be in the back of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh well, dare to dream. So was that all our listeners?
That was all from my post. Did you make a post? Did somebody else make a post?
I made a post because I popped in for a minute just to say hello and that.
Yeah, you might have gotten actually more responses on your post. I don't know.
All I got was everybody wishing me well and saying, "Hey, Dave, how you doing?" and stuff like that, which I'm thankful for. I appreciate it. But yeah, so I can't complain about that. But I don't think I got any legitimate topic or anything.
Fuck these people. They care about me. God damn them.
Oh, I think somebody did say something that was a question though.
Yeah, I think what's her name posted a question.
Her.
I think it was a female.
Let's see. I'm scrolling down. I think that I recall that Will did something. Will Wilhelm said, he said, how about covering Demon Wind? I know that's what he said.
You know, I saw Demon Wind from my list for the first time a couple months back, and I like that movie.
I've never seen it.
There, covered.
Covered. Ratings?
Christian's not even answering tonight. He didn't answer about the fucking action horror thing. He said covered there. He's like on to the next one. On to the next one. Let's go. Well, let's feature Christian for a minute since he's been a little quiet.
I didn't think I'd been quiet.
No, just the last couple questions. Like, sound is fucking around. I don't know. Christian versus found footage. We have anything going on with it?
I watched one more. It's
What?
been a busy week, so I watched one more, and it was Nightlight.
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 Light bright?
Nightlight. Playing things.
Yeah, you know what? And I know it wasn't Fleshlight. I know that Brandon loves to follow it up with Fleshlight after.
I like JP always says, I really don't have that many jokes. It's a lot of recycling the same old.
I'm with you. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
You know what? I was looking forward to this, Dave, because of your high recommendation of it, and it was good. It was just slightly above average.
Okay, now, do you remember what I said about that movie? I said
well, you refresh my memory. So I don't remember.
It's okay. I said that most of it was average found footage stuff, which is okay. It was average. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. But the last act captivated me. I felt like I was right with the protagonist, like I sometimes do in certain movies. And to me, the last act fucking had me. So,
you did say that. That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
So, were you captivated?
Yeah, I will. I'll give him that. Like that it wasn't my favorite of those. It wasn't even close to my favorite out of the ones that I've watched so far. So
looks like I'll have to be the tiebreaker. I still haven't seen it.
Well,
it was good. Okay. It was good. Like the main girl was great, and the acting was good. Other than I didn't really like the bitchy girl too much, but I mean, just because I just felt like she played too much into the cliche. But so be it. I mean,
how was the Flashlight?
Flashlight, impeccable.
I heard his performance really shines through.
Corny, but good.
I was late to the party on that one. That was good.
No, it was good. And,
thank you. I'll be here all week.
But the Flashlight, isn't it? It's kind of a brilliant concept. I like the way that was executed.
Yeah. It was a great idea. Just overall, the execution, I just found like kind of been there, done that. Admittedly, the forest did have some creepy. It was a creepy backdrop, and it had some interesting parts going through that. The cave was quite scary as well. Yeah. So, like I'm saying, there's some good moments there, but it just, I think I was expecting more. Maybe because you built it up so much. Maybe that's what it was. But like where the den and some of the other ones that we talked about had me like afflicted. Like those ones are emerging as some of the top-notch ones.
Yeah, well, you're watching a lot of them in a row, so you're seeing a lot of really good ones. So it's probably hard at this point now. Even if you're seeing one that you like, it's hard to top some of those other ones that you've already seen.
Yeah, and I may go back to this one again too, because I felt like I was like, I got to talk about it, but I don't know if I'm going to be unfair to the movie right now. But that's how I felt right now, anyway. And if I change my mind, I'll let you know.
No, listen, that makes sense to me. I don't think I was necessarily really building it up. It's just that it's come up in conversation because it's from last year. So it just happens to be recent. Like I probably mentioned on our year-end show, and maybe another show, and then I brought it up for the found footage.
You were blushing over this one.
I was dropping it because it was recent.
You were dropping to your knees on this one.
No.
You were tickling its balls.
I was fucking putting that fucking flesh.
You wetted its whistle. You wetted that whistle.
No, it's like I said. I think I put it in the same category as Crow's Nest. I think that's what I said on 2 shows ago, that it was all about the final act. Like, if you're asking me, I don't remember anything about the movie besides loving the final act. But when you were talking about the bitchy girl, I didn't even remember a bitchy girl. So I don't remember. It's the kind of movie that I will watch again, and I will only probably watch it by myself because, like I said, I got sucked into it, and that's just kind of how those movies work. When I really get into that mind state, I have to be alone. And that it's something there that I'll watch it again, but it's not on the level of the Den or the Bay or fucking some of the other ones that I have up there. It's simply not. Those ones, I've watched the Bay 3 times. I've watched the Den like 4 times. So I mean, the Den, that was in my top 5 from fucking 2 years ago. And the Bay, I think, was might have been the year before.
And it's by no means a piece of shit. By no means. It's enjoyable, but I feel like it was, and maybe Brandon's right. Maybe he just nailed it right. It was just, I've watched so many of them in a row. It's the been there, done that kind of feeling for this one. But that's how I feel. And that's what this is all about.
Well, hey, so far so good. I haven't had any stinkers yet.
No.
Nice. See? Good old found footage. Fucking representing. All right, well, stay tuned. And I guess we may as well just go on to Brandon's. I know you got some fucking shit to say about your challenge. Although nobody challenged you.
The challenge. I challenged myself. You have 3 months to watch all 100 of these films. If you do, it proves that you have no friends.
I'll tell you what, Brandon. I will, next time I see something, although I'm not on Facebook anymore. Well, whatever. If I ever see something again that's worthy of a challenge, I will challenge you like I challenge Christian, so you can have a real reason.
Yeah, I want a challenge. I don't want to be just
Okay.
challenging myself.
All right, I'll find
Sad.
something to challenge you on, man.
All right, you're not going to believe this, but I am 99 movies down. I have one left.
Whoa! What's the one left?
Boarding House.
I remember seeing a preview for that one too. I can't believe. I know it's on VHS, but
it just got a nice release from Slasher Video, but I don't want to spend $15 on it because I know it's a shit movie. Everyone says it's a shit movie. What am I going to do? Leave this list at 99 out of 100?
No.
yep.
The last 6 movies I've watched,
Gretzky.
Ah, right.
not only like most of them have been awful, I'm actually giving them away, but 2 of the films I watched have Eric Estrada in it playing a priest.
Really?
Are they
That's
both
dope.
by Fred Olin Ray or whatever the guy's name is?
One was the Fred Olin Ray one. One was a film called The Divine Enforcer. That Fred Olin Ray one probably is my least favorite from the list. That's
Of all of them? Of 100 movies?
of all 100 movies. That
Wow.
one's probably my least favorite. Yeah.
So Fred
It-
Olin
it-
Ray plus Eric Estrada equals piece of shit.
Oh, it was terrible. It was terrible.
Well, he's directed a lot of pieces of shit.
No, but this one was bad. I mean, I remember like probably the most disappointing one that I saw, and I was excited because I bought the double feature from Scream Factory. Was shit. I'm drawing a blank now.
You
haven't
are-
seen it.
Which
Witchery. Witchery.
Okay, Witchery, right.
I am the Witchery.
Clickety clackety.
Yeah, no, I mean the Scream Factory transfer looks beautiful, but that film is so boring.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that?
No, I'll stay away from it, man.
And I'm almost positive I haven't either.
Yeah, it's on that double feature with Ghost House. I haven't watched Ghost House yet.
Oh, Ghost House
Yeah.
I saw way back when.
Yeah,
Whoa. It was, wait, Witchery? That was on that Blu-ray with Ghost. Okay, my bad.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. With it's with what's her name? Linda Blair. David Hasselhoff's in it.
What the
It's
fuck?
so bad. It's just so boring.
I'll probably get it when the price drops on that Ghost House one, because that Ghost House, I have history with that movie. It's fucking, it's a movie that my friends and I used to laugh at and make fun of. But when we dug it up after not seeing it for years, we watched it and actually enjoyed it. So now it's not one of those. I mean, it always will be comedy because of that. There's a one part in it, and I've mentioned it on the show before.
The
but
part where the window chops someone and doesn't a window like shut down on someone and chop them in half or something?
I believe so, but the scene that still sticks out to me is the girl going out the window in the opening scene, like flying through the window, and then it shows the view from below the window, and you can clearly see it's a dude with a beard. Like you could pause it, and you could tell like he's got a wicked 5 o'clock shadow. He didn't even shave or anything, and it's like so bad. It's funny, but it's.
it's like that girl in the final chapter that fucking falls out of the car. You can tell it's a guy.
I think I see a kidney.
Wait a minute. Are you Ghost House? Is that what we're talking about?
No, we're talking about
Ghost House?
Witchery.
Oh, you were talking about Witchery, not Ghost House.
I was talking about Witchery.
I was talking about Ghost House.
So was I.
Okay, I thought so. That's why I brought it back. Okay, I just wasn't sure. I got lost. Well, Ghost House, that's another story. I'll save it for another day.
Yeah, there's some bad films on this list. Overall, I'm glad I'm done with it. Pretty much.
Okay, what was your favorite one?
Ah, man. Favorite one.
Okay, top 3. How's that?
All right. Top 3, Alien Space Avenger.
You mentioned that last show.
Yeah, I really...
13. Yeah.
One I just watched recently on VHS. I know it has a Code Red release, but I would love to see a nice Blu-ray release of this. The Carrier.
Mm.
That was a fun film. And Hard Rock Zombies. Probably my favorite on the list.
Wow. So Hard Rock
Zombies.
Hard Rock Summer.
I actually listened to like the soundtracks for that movie.
Hard Rock Zombies?
Yeah.
No shit. So there you go, guys. Everybody go out and watch Hard Rock Zombies. What were the other two? Alien Adventure?
Alien Space Avenger and
Carrier.
Carrier.
I remembered. See, I'm not so bad.
And Blood Massacre. Or as
Oh,
Christian
and-
says, how do you massacre blood?
And Blood Massacre number 4. Okay. Well, are you happy you did it?
Yeah.
Almost done.
Yeah, I've probably watched, honestly, about 215 films already this year.
Wow.
It's really making me sad about my life.
I challenge you to watch 1,000.
1,000? There's no way. Like, honestly, I don't...
Ooh, mission failed.
I think 400 is the max I'm going to get to.
Wow. Well, I've been watching more lately. I've been watching newer ones. Have you
Yeah,
been
me
watching...
too.
Yeah, have you?
Yeah.
Which?
Let's hear what you've seen. Unless you have more to add on your list, of course. If there's more to talk about with that list, if you have a thing going on, stay on with that list.
No, the list was a lot of fun. Again, if I will accept challenges in terms of watching certain subgenres or just a certain group of films, but let's keep it to like a 5-10 movie list. I don't want any more 100 movie lists. Not that anyone sent this to me.
Now they're going to, though. Now there's listeners.
You know what? It was Bill. It was Bill who posted it, and what he wrote. It wasn't even that he posted it that was the bad thing. It was that he wrote that he saw 90% of the movies.
Oh, I gotcha.
And so when he wrote that, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go in here. I'm usually good for 50% on most of these lists, and I was at like 15%.
Wow.
I was like, uh-oh.
Wow.
I'm gonna watch them all.
I bet you I was at 15% too. So,
Yeah.
But you did it. And so wait, it was 99? Well,
99 down.
99 down. Well, I guess you can wait till you see 100 to have your phone.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll see Boarding House.
This is the last time we're covering it.
This is it. We're done with this.
You know what, though? Because I was interested when Dave, I think you wanted to find the list and take the challenge, or see how many you watched. Not actually do the challenge, and I did the same thing, and I was shy. I think I came in 32 of the films I had actually saw.
That's pretty good, actually.
Way back when, but still, I thought, because I was kind of like you, Brandon. I'm like, oh yeah, for sure. I bet I've maybe 50, because that would have been the heyday when I was renting stuff. But yeah, 32. And then when seeing people's numbers, I'm like, God, that actually wasn't that bad, I guess.
32 is actually pretty good. A lot of people were coming in at, I knew some people coming in at like 8 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
Really low.
Wow.
Yeah.
They call themselves fans.
That's what I'm sending my movies to.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea.
A lot of those things I hear about, a lot of those movies in the list, the title and the fucking, the plot, from what I know, a lot of them just don't appeal to me. So it's not like I don't feel bad for not having seen some of them, because I'm sure I've gotten the chance to see half of them, and I just never wanted to.
It's weird because some of them aren't really obscure. Some of them aren't trash, and some of them, well, one of them in particular just doesn't feel like it even belongs on the list. It's just very out of place. It doesn't. I mean, it is classified as a horror movie, but it's more of like it's got a French New Wave feel to it. It's a French film, and it's
Christian. That's one I watch.
It's Afro-Canadian, actually.
Oui,
Oui.
oui, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So you mean it doesn't exist? Just like that term.
AC. No good, huh? AC, it's a box you check in fucking Canada. You get those boxes. Caucasian. AC. It's fucking, there's that many of them.
Yikes.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I know. They don't exist. I know.
You guys are crazy.
Well. It is crazy. So, yeah, has anybody... I got to tell you, I have watched more new movies in this last week than I have in any week of the year. So
I've watched 5 newer movies this week, but only 2 of them were horror.
Well, what were they?
The horror ones I watched They Look Like People, which is on Netflix.
Oh, I've been meaning to, because it's on Netflix. Okay.
Yes, which I highly recommend. And then I watched, I highly recommend that film. And I watched Fender Bender, that premiered on Chiller.
Yeah.
And I was surprised to see the praise the film was getting. I mean, it's not a bad movie by any means in terms of the way it's made or the acting or anything like that. It's one of those movies where you're literally talking to the character, being like, "Why the hell are you doing this? Stop it!" So it's just very frustrating. But I think the ending kind of saved it, because it went a little darker than I expected it to.
Oh, that's cool. Well, I hear it's a throwback Right?
It is. It's definitely a throwback, but it's like it was frustrating. I was frustrated with this movie.
Okay, all right. I was thinking of getting to it. I wasn't rushing because I knew it aired on television. Now, if it just would have came out, because it's Scream Factory too. It's like it's a Scream Factory, their first original, but it's also a Chiller original as well. So it's take it what you will. But I knew that it was a Scream Factory original, the first one. I was like, okay. Then I heard it aired on Chiller, and I was like, well, I don't think I'm one to purchase fucking modern made-for-TV horror. There's very few from the past. Maybe not very few, but there's few from the past that I could say I would own, and I'm sure I have them. I do own some. Mm-hmm. But modern horror that's made for TV, I don't know. And it's weird because nowadays they show so much too, but I don't think they show shit on Chiller and Sci-Fi and stations like that, do they? There's no gore and shit like that, is there?
No, not really. But again, like for me, that doesn't necessarily bother me. It was just, I don't know. The film was lacking a little bit.
I just don't get why they don't. American Horror Story was having sexual type stuff. I mean, you're not seeing TNA, but you're seeing a lot of shit going on, and you're seeing gore, and you saw gore like galore on Hannibal, and that was on NBC. Yeah. Right? I mean, why doesn't Sci-Fi and Chiller and these others, why can't they put out fucking horror like that?
Well, when you think, especially since, I mean, don't get me wrong, Sci-Fi does the Sharknado ones. I know that's super cheese, but they put gore galore in those, but it's over the top. But you'd figure that Chiller, out of all of them, would have no issue.
Yeah.
I mean, considering it's supposed to be featuring horror.
I mean, there is some gore in this, but it's minimal.
Yeah, why can't they? Those stations would be so great.
You know what, though? They did do it for Slasher. Did you end up watching Slasher, Dave? I watched it. I actually didn't mind that show. Some episodes were absolutely great, and other episodes were a little bit dull. But overall, I would give the show about like a 7. Maybe 7 out of 10 was probably where I'd go with the whole show. And there are some really gory moments to that show. Really? So I stand corrected because I saw it because it came out on Netflix as well. Yep. But it was originally on Chiller, and it was gory.
As I'm trying to replay the movie in my head, I'm thinking of more and more scenes that had some gore in it. So maybe it wasn't so tame as I think.
Huh?
It was another small cast movie, sort of like a contained horror. It actually turned more into a home invasion film.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I never watched Chiller. I don't even know if I have the fucking thing. I get them all confused. Chiller, and there was like another one. And when I did watch them, what little I did, it never did anything for me because I remember they're cutting things out. So maybe that's changed. Maybe Chiller does show shit now.
Show shit?
Show shit. Maybe they do. Maybe they show shit, piss, gore, blood, cum.
Nice.
Poo? Poo, yeah.
For our German listeners?
Scheiße.
Okay, let me ask you this, Christian.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Did you see Scream and Scream Queens?
I saw Scream, the first 4 episodes. I never finished the first season, but I enjoyed it. I have to finish that. Scream Queens, watched the first 50 minutes of episode 1 and said, whoop, this is not for me. And never continued.
Okay, well then I can't ask you to compare Slasher to those movies or those shows. So
I can't wait for Scream Queens to come back.
Dude, I haven't. Scream season 2 was out now, but I haven't watched it yet.
I didn't watch Scream. I just haven't yet. Maybe I will.
I watched it. It was fine. It wasn't great, but it was fine. Whatever. I'll watch it again. I'm particularly attracted to this one chick on there too, so that doesn't hurt. And she plays a dirty birdie. Yeah, she's a high school chick. Well, she plays a high school chick.
Nice.
She's like 20, 21, whatever. She's hot. Anyway, the show wasn't...
28, 21, 20.
Yeah, definitely 21.
In Scream Queens, I've heard a lot of people tune out in the first episode, but that show just got fucking better and better. Once you accepted it for what it was and were in on the joke and were along for the ride, it just got better as it went. And
it definitely got better and better, but that tone, if you weren't into it in the first 15 minutes, then you weren't going to like it because that tone never changed. That's how it was throughout.
no, but it's still smart writing.
Oh,
It's
yeah. I
good
freaking
shit.
loved it. I loved it.
Dude, Emma Roberts stole the fucking. If there's no Emma Roberts, no, I'm not watching it.
Really?
It was her show.
Emma Roberts was the standout of the show, by far.
Dude,
By
she was
far.
so good. She fucking stole the fucking show. It's 100%. Nothing wrong with Jamie Lee Curtis, but I just whatever.
The whole cast was great,
cool.
but Emma Roberts is Scream Queens. Like,
Yes.
she was phenomenal.
Yep.
I wish she stole it from the network, so I didn't have to see it.
Oh, dude. Okay. Did you see episode? Did you see season 3? Have you seen Coven, American Horror Story?
No, I only watched the first 2 seasons of American Horror Story.
I can't give you that either. I just can't fucking match up with you tonight.
You know what it is? No, it's because I actually, if I lived on my own, I wouldn't watch TV at all. I wouldn't even have cable. I wouldn't watch it at all. I'm totally content watching movies. I don't really care about TV now. TV's gotten better in the last 10 years and whatever. Like, I love that show 6 Feet Under way back when, and it's just seemed to have gotten better and better and better and more shows. But I actually typically don't like episodic television. I like a movie, an hour and a half, 2 hours, done. No, I gotta come back next week. Oh, fuck this.
I get it. That's why I haven't committed. Yeah, I was gonna say that's why I haven't committed to shows like Scream or Slasher. I mean, it's nice that they pop up on Netflix, but even so, even if I commit and I watch all of them, now I know if they run 5 seasons that I gotta watch 4 more seasons.
Well, and even with Scream, I was watching it. We were watching it as a family, other than my son. I was watching it with my wife and my 2 daughters, and then I checked out because I, again, got busy with work, let's say, and then my daughters just ended up watching the rest of the season. And they said it was great, and they loved it. And I told them, hey, season 2's out now because you're going to love that. And they haven't jumped into it. But I'm just like, now I've got to watch it on my own time. So I dedicated myself. I watched Slasher, and I watched 1 episode every night. And I watched, it was like only 8 episodes. But even that, I was like, like some of them
are. Oh, my God, 8 nights.
Yeah.
8 crazy nights.
I just, something about it. But everybody raves. Like, I liked American Horror Story, the first season. The second season was interesting as well. It took me a while to get into it. And then you told me, I think season 3 was your favorite, right?
No. 2. Well, 2 was my favorite until fucking this last season.
Yeah. See, and they don't have this latest season on demand, which is pissing me off because I want to watch it.
They don't, when it comes out, when next season starts on TV, that's when it gets released on fucking
this past season's the only one I've missed, and I like the show. I loved season 1 was by far my favorite. To me, it captured what I wanted the show to be like, and every season since has been a little bit of a letdown, especially in the endings. Season 2 was good, but I thought after that, 3 and 4 went downhill. 4 had an opportunity to be amazing, and I just missed the mark.
Are you gonna go off on the fucking Twisty thing again, like everybody else does?
No. Twisty was great. He was a great character. I'm talking about the dandy character.
Dandy was great when he became the new Twisty. You didn't like that shit?
Oh, it was great, but the way they ended it ended with his character was not the right way to end it.
The very like his fate.
His fate was not played out right.
I'll tell you what. I guess not, but what he did in that before that fate was.
Oh yeah. I was loving it. I was loving that episode. That was the last episode.
Yes,
and it was amazing. And then the last 10, 15 minutes, I'm like, no, they're wrapping it up too neatly in this bow. And it's like,
okay,
but it's still a great show.
Oh, dude, it's my favorite show. It straight up is my fucking favorite show on television. It's my favorite. Oh, obviously, I was gonna say it's my favorite horror show. It's my favorite show. So. Definitely.
Honestly, my favorite horror show right now, and I keep telling people to watch it, and I don't know if they're listening, but Penny Dreadful.
Yeah, I know.
Freaking phenomenal. The acting in that show is the best acting I've seen in a horror show, and some of the best acting on television right now. Like, I'm hoping that when Emmy nominations come around, that some of these actors are getting nominated because they're phenomenal.
I watched a couple of episodes of that, but again... It was well done, well filmed, great cinematography. Just couldn't get into it. Not from that it was boring. I just can't. I can't dedicate the time.
Yeah.
I'm just not into period pieces that much.
Yeah, well, that's period, and it's covering, all the, the classic monsters in different ways.
Yeah, and I'm not really into the classic monsters as much as everybody else either. So maybe that's why, I guess. I don't know. Although I've come around to period pieces. I mean, think about it. The Bone Tomahawk last year and fucking The Witch this year. I mean, those are period pieces. So who knows? But maybe I'm coming around. But anyway.
So what have you been watching? What have you been watching?
Oh wow. Okay, what have I been watching? I'll tell you what have I watched this week, because I've been doing I've been rating everything we've done so far. Like for 2000, any movie from 2016, I've been rating it and keeping notes, because that's what I do every year.
That's what I've been doing.
Right. So
how many films are you at so far for the year?
Not as many as I'd like to be. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13? Really? Holy fuck.
Alright, that's not bad. I'm only at 16.
I got more here. I'm just getting to them now. But this past week, I watched The Hoarder. Or Hoarder. I don't know if it's The Hoarder or Hoarder. And have you seen this? Anybody?
No.
Heard of it?
It sounds familiar. Who's in this?
I don't fucking remember. It was an average movie.
Okay.
Some people might end up liking it more than me. For some reason, I could see that by some people.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, it's interesting. This guy goes down, and this woman goes down to this, those places where you lock shit up in, like a fucking...
Storage unit?
Thank you. And it's this big storage unit, and it's like underground. Anyway, long story short, this chick goes there, and at the end, an attack happens at this fucking storage unit and some other shit, and whatever. It's okay. There's just, like I said, it's average. But I could see maybe some people liking it more than me. I don't know. But it was alright. Then I saw Intruders.
I saw Intruders, yeah.
What'd you think about Intruders?
I rated it at a 6.5. I loved the lead girl in it. She was from a show called Leverage.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of hers. The movie, 6.5. I thought it was, a good film. But, that's where I came in. Like, I didn't go overly crazy for it, but I thought it was cool.
I was a little lower. I gave it a 5.5.
Okay, so you're a point lower.
It was okay. I just, I don't know. It was okay, though,
Yeah, I watched this one a while ago, so, like, I remember it. I remember the twists and everything, but, yeah, that 5.5 to 6.5 range is, I think, a solid range for it.
Yeah, it's okay. I guess maybe I'd watch it again. I don't know. Did you tell me, one of you guys told me, I think, that you saw Nina Forever. Did you see that?
I did, yeah. Okay. Did you see that, Christian?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
I didn't care for it.
Oh, see, this is a film. What'd you rate it?
I rated it a 4, and I only gave it that high because of the production values and some things, but I'm not into the fucking plot. As soon as what happened started to happen, I was like, and as it went on, it was just fucking... I just wanted it to be over.
See, I gave it a 7.5, and this is a film that I'm going to be going back to towards the end of the year to revisit, because it does have potential to be a top 10 film.
Wow! It reminded me of Dead Girl, kind of. And to me, that's like a one and done, and I just never cared to go back. I think Dead Girl was better, but Dead Girl is like an average movie. But this one just... I didn't give a fuck what was going on, and it was just like, yes, so the chick is there, okay, and then it happened again and again. It just, I don't know.
This had a lot of depth to it.
Wow, and the way she talked, I hated the way the fucking chick Nina talked. She reminded me of. Are you a fan of Harry Potter by any chance?
Yeah.
She sounded like fucking Moaning Myrtle, that fucking chick in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh. Nobody wants to play with me. Oh, dude, I just couldn't get into. Go ahead, you want to praise? Who wants to hear me fucking just say I just wasn't into it? But you like it. It's interesting.
That's okay. We don't.
I hear you, but I think listeners would rather hear somebody say, some positive thing about it than fucking. I just
look, even with the negative review from you, they should always check it out for themselves. I've seen some people posting their top 3 favorite films so far for the year, and some people have posted Nina Forever, I think.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, some people have posted Emily. I know Derek put Emily on his top 3.
I gotta watch Emily still. I have it here. I haven't watched it.
And see, I watched it, and I gave it a 5.5 here. I might go as high as a 6, but to me, it's just above average. I was a little let down with it. But, to each his own. Or her own.
Exactly. Okay, how about Last Girl Standing?
Or he, she's own.
No.
What is it? Last Girl Standing?
Yeah.
I saw that.
Okay. What did you think about it?
Well, I know. Is it Jason Lloyd who, praising this film?
I don't know. I haven't been on...
Somebody's praising this film.
I don't think it's Jason. Usually when Jason praises something, I know, even if I'm not on Facebook.
Somebody spoke very highly of this film, and I saw it, and I thought it was just very average. I gave it a 5.
Wow, I gave it a 7.5.
Wow. Really? Okay. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch this one because I'm pretty sure it was Jason who really liked this one.
You know what it reminds me of? The way it's set up? In a way, it reminds me of May. Because the first 2 acts are pretty much drama where you're kind of sympathetic to the girl.
Yeah.
And then the 3rd act goes fucking batshit crazy. That's what don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I was complete, and I was behind her, and I was with the character. I understood what was going on, and then when shit went down, I was like, oh, man. And then they added gore to the mix. So, I was like, okay, cool. I was along for the ride. The beginning was cool. I can just say the premise. The premise is you actually get to see what happens to a final girl after the fucking movie ends.
Yeah.
She's not portraying an actress. She is a person. The movie opens with fucking...
Yeah, it's life after the final girl survived. It's her life continued.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing.
It's a very interesting premise.
You never see it. You see it in fucking Friday 2 in the beginning, before Alice gets whacked. You see that, and then you see little Laurie Strode action. Yeah, you see it a little bit, but usually you don't see a movie based up, and it's a new movie. It's not like it's a franchise, so it's just.
Yeah.
About this girl that was a final girl that saw her friends killed and everything else and how she copes with it, and it's 5 years later. And, yeah, it's fucked up, and she's still haunted by what happened, obviously, and this is about that. And,
I have to give this one another watch.
Yeah, it's funny. Isn't that crazy? I gave Nina such a...
yeah, we were complete opposite on those two.
Yeah, wow.
That's good. I gotta check them both out. I don't care. It's, I do want to see both of them.
Yeah, definitely check them both out.
Yeah, and report back. For sure, man. And I saw The Conjuring too. Did either of you guys get to go?
No. Good?
Well, here's what I'll say about The Conjuring 2. It is, I would probably say it's every bit as good as the first one. But not exactly like it, but different. Different in a way. There was some things that they thought was going to be an obvious jump scare that they shied away from, and I think they did that intentionally. But aside from that, it's a perfectly serviceable, good movie. Fucking Juan is good. The thing I noticed is that after the 2 Insidiouses that he was involved in, and now the 2 Conjurings, I'm not complaining because it's good, but it's more of the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's nothing new here. It's good, but it's just, we've seen it before, so I'm not complaining about it. I'm just, the beginning straight up when they were in the Amityville thing, there's a touch on the Amityville in the beginning. It's like they did with, what do you call it in the first Conjuring? Annabelle, And it makes sense because it ended with, we talked about it on the show, how it ended with them, they're supposed to go to Amityville. Why are they doing this other thing, Enfield? And they do, it is touched upon for a bit. But there's this scene, and the way the characters move is just the way they move in the first 2, what do you call it? Preferably the first, the Insidious. You know how sometimes the ghosts would be looking straight ahead, and they would do that quick thing, they would tilt their head and all look at the same time, and it's scary looking?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I always like that. That's cool. Like how they smile in the first one when they're there, and they put those big smiles on their face all of a sudden. Ooh, that's fucking creepy. But anyway, they do that. They do that. What's her name is in the basement, and she sees that, and right away I'm like, wow, that's pretty Insidious like. You know what I mean? So there was things about it that rang with the Insidious movies and with the other Conjuring. And they're not bad things. It's just still a good movie. I'm just saying it's not awesome. But I'll tell you what, and I'm sticking with it, even though I haven't rewatched The Conjuring. You guys both, I think, said it was the best movie that year when we did the top 40. The reason I didn't pick it is I liked the first two acts, and it seems like the third act is rushed. Like in that exorcism thing, and the way the exorcism is resolved, I kind of don't like that about the movie. But I like everything else. That's what it is about The Conjuring in me, is that act, last act. I don't know. But this is just good, it's just different, so I won't go on and on. I've talked enough. If I'm going to grade it, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10.
Oh, that high.
Yeah, it's still good. Like I said, it's more the same, and it's stuff I haven't seen before. But there was also some other good swerves and some things. It was good, and it's great. I mean, back to that word again, period piece. Fucking back to that phrase. It's, that's something I liked about the first one. How authentic 70s it looked. You know, they did it the same again, but this time they're in England or wherever.
I love a good period piece with a heavy flow.
Oh, man.
Hey.
Bad.
Well, it did well at the box office. It was like number 1, so.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, you guys might like it more than I. Like I said, I didn't.
I might hate it.
Who knows? Maybe you will. Well, go see it and find out.
Yeah.
Well, before we get on with our review, is there anything else anybody wanted to bring up? Do we have anything important that I'm forgetting about or no? Nah.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Nothing? Okay. Well, you know what? Then before we go in, we're going to listen to the return of the 10-year-old horror fan.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like she got a little... People liked her, so we'll stick around with her a bit.
This is Dave Z, along with Frankie Z, also known as the 10-year-old horror fan. And we have just finished watching, for her first time, the 1984 original, A Nightmare on Elm Street. Frankie, what are your thoughts about this movie?
I think it was pretty scary, and I think I wouldn't go to sleep after watching that movie.
Oh, really? Are you going to have trouble getting to bed tonight?
No, that was just a joke.
Oh, okay. Do you have any questions about the movie?
No, I understand it.
You understand it? Okay. What are some of your favorite parts of this movie?
My favorite parts are like when they are having the dreams.
Anything in particular? Any scene that you remember the most? Or maybe somebody getting killed that was really cool? Or some really cool sequence of the movie that you really enjoyed?
I enjoyed like the whole scene when Freddy was getting killed to the end.
Oh, when he was getting killed.
Mhm. Like trying to get killed.
You mean when Nancy was trying to kill him?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else you can add about this movie?
No.
No? Okay. Who was your favorite character?
Freddy Krueger.
Freddy Krueger. Okay. Which was your favorite scene when somebody got killed?
What do you mean by that?
You know, Freddy has his victims, which certain ones were killed, of course. So which death was your favorite one?
Well, Nancy's boyfriend, but I forgot his name.
Oh, Glenn.
Yeah, Glenn.
Okay. All right. Well, now it's rating time. On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give A Nightmare on Elm Street?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Wow. We're on fire here. We've seen 2 movies, and they've both been 10s out of 10s. Okay. Is there anything else you want to add or ask or have anything else to say about Nightmare on Elm Street before we wrap this up?
Well, yeah, I have a question about it.
Okay, ask away.
Like, at the ending, when Nancy's mother got in the corner with Freddy, how come, well, Nancy wasn't dreaming, was she? Or how did he come out? Was he still alive, or was he in a dream?
Which part are you talking about exactly?
At the ending.
Oh, at the very end?
Yeah.
Nobody knows for sure. There's a few, some people think that the entire movie was a dream. That's one thing about the ending of the movie. Some people don't know exactly how to take it. It is what it is. But that doesn't affect your rating. You still enjoy it just as much, right?
Yeah, but towards the end it was a bit confusing.
Yes, it can be a little bit confusing. Anything else confuse you?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay. Well, anything else to say before we wrap it up?
No, thank you.
Okay. Well, that's it. That's the 10-year-old horror fan, Frankie Z. We'll see you next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, yeah.
This is Dave Z.
Whoa, sorry.
Frankie Z.
Oh, shit.
Also known as the 10
Also known as the 45-year-old horror fan. 43, right?
Fuck, trying to bury me over here.
Bury you.
I don't know. So yeah, she's 2 out of 2, 10 out of 10. So that's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and assure her she's not alone with the confusion with the ending. It's so funny that she's like, because I mean that's probably
Right.
the thing most criticized about it.
I thought you were going to say when the mom gets pulled through the door.
Yeah, I think that's what she was thinking.
I think
of, 'cause
that's what. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting like for her like when she gets sucked through the the door.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know what she was saying. She was in the corner, and this. I think she just gets nervous because she's. Yeah, I know she must be nervous because usually I never have a problem understanding what she's trying to convey to me. So.
Yeah, I mean, I always heard that ending was a hybrid of what it was Wes Craven and who else had, I guess, the producer
Bob Shea.
Bob Shea. Okay, yeah, I think they did what, like a hybrid of the two.
I
did.
think he wanted. I think Wes just wanted to have the car, drive off, and then that 1, 2,
Yeah.
which would have been a perfect ending. And then
Absolutely.
Bob wanted that extra punch, which was the mom getting pulled through the door.
Yeah.
So they did both, but. Yeah, that mom getting pulled through the door is... I remember showing a friend of mine, he's like, I love that ending. Then the mom got pulled through the door, he's like, I take that back.
How many takes do you think she had to do being pulled through that door?
The fucking rubber woman.
She got sucked right through.
I think it's kind of cool. I mean, I will tell you this. I would 100% much rather see the ending that Wes wanted with the fucking girls doing the jump ropes. How cool would that have been, too? Like, it could have faded out before they even got to, like, 10. Like, it could have faded out at 6, and the credits could have started to roll in black, and you just hear the girls going, 7, 8. You know what I'm saying? Don't you think that would have been a great way to fucking end the movie?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we both just said that.
No, but I'm saying...
I'm kidding.
Okay. I
What
picture
an
it.
asshole.
I went one step further with the fucking with blacking out and fucking having
Yeah,
the credits
he
roll.
actually wrote his own ending there, and you just shit all over it. Wait,
I was trying to be an asshole, and
and you
That was
succeeded.
I succeeded. Flying colors.
But I always thought that would have been cooler. But I do not hate that thing because it's a fucked up, crazy ending. Because the fact that she fits through the door is fucked up. It's just scary.
It's
don't find
creepy. It's very creepy. It's
It is.
very shocking. Like, whoa, where'd she go? She just got like vacuumed right through the door.
Well, that's a dream. That's what we're.
Yeah. Look, I have crazy dreams.
Yeah, dude. I mean, there's lots of fucked up shit that happens.
You know what they used to actually get her through that door, to suck her through like that. And Andrew Dyson Clay.
Call back.
Of course, he's coming
And
up.
that's foreshadowing.
Exactly. Well, I guess it's time for Hush. I think we bullshitted enough. So,
Let's get
Actually-
to it. Wish.
I mean, honestly, we really haven't. But we could probably bullshit another hour. But we're just not going to. We'll just have to save it for next show or the show after that. So yeah, let's talk about Hush.
All right, it's time for a feature review. Hush, 2016, directed by Mike Flanagan. A deaf writer who retreated into the woods to live a solitary life must fight for her life in silence when a mass killer appears at her window. Now, this is interesting. This is also written by the director
My man.
and the lead actress, Kate Siegel.
And
They're actually married.
yes, they are.
Yeah.
Well, let me just say right off the bat that I'm fucking Flanagan is my guy right now.
Honestly, he's doing great stuff.
Yeah.
He is doing great. Remember when I told you guys?
Yeah.
Everybody laughed at me that he was doing Ouija, fucking the next Ouija, and just because it's him doing it, I think I don't care. I'm gonna give it a chance.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what I actually never saw the first one, but I just hear terrible things about it. But I'll be interested to see what he does with the second one.
Well, he said that there is a reason to watch the first one still.
I'll check it out definitely.
And I actually have the Blu-ray, but I have never watched it.
Definitely a fan of this guy, though.
Well, I've watched it, yeah.
You know, would you say you watched it, Christian?
I've seen Ouija. And
what'd you think?
It was good.
Yeah.
It wasn't fantastic, but it was good.
Ouija.
Well, I guess there's a reason to watch it to see two, he said. So he was on, I listened to the Shock, whatever the fuck it was. Well, I was listening to a podcast and he was on it. And he said, watch that, but it's...
He's like, watch part one so you can see how much better part two is.
Well, yeah, two is his own thing. The guy said, fucking, it's yours, do this. All you gotta do is have this one tie-in for whatever reason, continuity. And he goes, everything else, it's your fucking thing. So, I mean, he started off with Absentia, all right? Awesome. And then Oculus is fucking great. Yeah. And now he goes into this. And he has another one that's going to be out soon, too. What is it called?
Before I Wake.
Before I Wake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, and that one's coming out in September, I think. Something like that. So, and he has written the I Know What You Did Last Summer. The remake that's supposed to be done. He had already written this fucking thing. So, it's based more on the book, apparently. And he's also doing Gerald's Game, which is the Stephen King book. Yay! I still can't talk.
Well, you heard that he might be the director for the new Halloween.
I don't buy that. I don't.
Dave's just not
I wasn't
buying
selling it.
Yeah, I'm not buying. I'm not buying what you're selling, Christian. Wrong.
As of right now, it's listed on the Internet Movie Database.
You're wrong, Christian.
It's actually there. It says that he's director of the next Halloween.
It says Untitled Halloween Sequel.
Well,
he's listed as a director.
I'll tell you what. If it happens, which is an if, in my opinion still, I hope that he's doing it. I'm going to go on record now and say he won't. I'm just being, I don't know. I hope it does, though, if it gets made. I don't know. They say that Carpenter's supposed to direct it. Who fucking knows? Nonsense.
I love Carpenter. I love Carpenter.
Yeah, we all do.
Said it. But he hasn't directed the best movies in the last couple of decades, so I don't know. I'd be interesting. It would be a great way to do a comeback, but The Ward wasn't a big fan. Not going to lie to you.
I've never even seen it, but I haven't heard too much good about it.
Lie to me, please.
I saw it at the midnight screening of the Toronto Film Festival, and John Carpenter, I was so hoping he was going to be in attendance.
Canada
Amber Heard was there.
Festivals?
Amber Heard, huh?
Yeah. Canada has one of the best film festivals.
Yeah. Which one's that one called?
The Toronto International Film Festival.
The
Afro-Canadian Film Festival.
Yeah, the Afro-Canadian, which doesn't exist. I don't know why I care. That's the other, what the hell do I care?
The ACI,
Yeah.
Oh, you're a white man. He's all fucking bugged out about it. There's no Afro-Canadians.
I'd like to be like the new Malcolm X for like the.
And that's Hush. We'll see you next week. We'll hear you next week.
We'll hear you. You'll hear us next week.
You'll hear us. I might hear you.
Yeah. So Mike Flanagan. I went off on a tangent. One thing led to another. I'll tell you what. I'll pimp it up right now. I enjoyed this movie also. And it's different from Essentia. It's different from fucking Oculus. It's a completely different kind of movie. And I have said it before. I'm not the biggest fan of home invasions. And I'm not the biggest fan of one person being chased by one person for a long duration of time. I said it time and time again. I did the Dave Z 1.5 speed for fucking like 3 or 4 movies last year that were like that. Mm-hmm. And I tell you, it's a whole other ballgame now. This one didn't fucking bore me a bit. Not a bit.
I'm with you on that. This one, I actually enjoyed it more on the second watch.
Same with me. The second watch I enjoyed it more because I got a little annoyed the first time, a little bit. I said it was one pet peeve. I'm taking a little bit of a mark hit from it at about the 30-minute mark. I'm like, okay, something needs to shift gears, and I felt like it took a little too long to get to the gear shifting. But once the gear shifting kicked in, then boy, was the rest of the movie fantastic. So I got frustrated. I kind of like what you just said, Dave, that you don't like these type of movies because it's this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, well, I don't have that problem. And then you said you weren't bored. I'm like, at the 30-minute mark, I'm like, okay, change it up now. Too much him walking around the house, her deacon around a couch. Then, a corner of a bed, looking at the window there. Just it went on a little too long for my likings. It's not a huge hit to the movie, but it definitely dragged it down. If they just somehow tightened that up by 2 minutes even or something, I think I could have just shifted. The second watch, I didn't notice it as much, but then I turned to my wife, because I watched it with my wife the second time, and she said, okay, something needs to happen now. So I thought, wow, then... obviously she had the exact same experience as I did.
Really? It's weird because I never took issue with that, only because he says he didn't even have a name, just the guy.
Right, I hear
the
you.
one, what's his name from...
the Stalker.
Yeah, Stalker. He's listed as man, John Gallagher Jr., who's from 10 Cloverfield Lane also. He basically references to her that he can come in anytime he wants, but he won't. And that whole speech he gives, it's like, when you wish you were dead, that's when I'll come in.
Exactly.
That's how it ended. That whole paragraph of dialogue that he did leading to that was just like, oh my God. It was awesome.
Which brings me to my only other quibble. Not my only other quibble.
I
have.
had two tiny quibbles in the film at the beginning, and one slightly bigger quibble which affected the grade. Which affected one major thing affected the grade. Two little things I kind of chuckled at, but I really, like, honestly, I was like nitpicking the second time.
Dude, I had the opposite. The first time I watched it, there was two things I thought were plot holes, maybe even three. And then the second time I watched it, and now the third time, because I watched it 3 times.
Oh, you watched it 3? Okay.
They've pretty much gone away. One thing is like
10.
There's still a quibble.
I was a little thrown off when she was gonna text her ex-boyfriend or whatever, and then all of a sudden he calls on the computer and she jumps like she heard the ring.
Well, it buzzes. She gets the vibration.
I know, but she jumped like she heard it, and it just threw me off, and I was just like, all right, you're just nitpicking. That's really nothing. Yeah, she probably felt it. Or
saw the light.
Exactly.
It made her jump because she knew it was him, and it was an emotional thing. My quibble. And actually, Christian, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say mine was that the mask came off too soon. Because that mask was so fucking creepy. And I understand she wrote, didn't see your face. And so he's like, oh, now you saw it, bitch. And that type of thing. But you know what? It didn't matter. He didn't need to take it off there. And I thought it was so creepy that they could have played it on for a while. And then he could have taken it off and then said that line a bit later. Again, maybe minor, but because I liked the masked killer...
Yeah,
I wish he just kept it on for a little bit longer in the movie. And again, saw it with my wife. She agreed. She goes, "Oh, now he's more human." She goes, "I like it still. I'm in it, but I liked it better with the mask."
I felt that,
but he's the man behind the mask.
And he's out of control.
No, you know what? I watched it with my father, and he actually said the same exact thing. That the mask was much creepier. He took it off too quickly. I didn't have issue with it. Because the fact that he's human is even more terrifying because it becomes more real. But I get it. The mask was creepy as hell.
Yeah, he's fucking little... He's Mickey Myers. That's who he is.
Mickey Myers.
That's who he is.
He's Oscar Myers.
It's a Mickey... Oscar Myers. It's a Mickey Myers mask. That's what that is. It's not exactly Michael. It's got a smile instead of nothing on it. And it's only... a face and nothing else. So
it's got mouse ears on it, like Mickey Mouse. It's Mickey Myers.
But all kidding aside, I said the same thing the first time I saw it. I was like, I wish they would have, as I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, I wish he would have kept the mask on. But upon second watch, I was like, I mean, I knew he was going to say that line. When he removed the mask and she wrote it, I haven't seen your face. As soon as he removed that mask, I knew what he was going to say next. And
yeah,
the first time I saw that, I was like, I wish it, I
thought it was great because it immediately set up that this guy doesn't have a motive. Like, they didn't have to throw in any crazy twists. People, some people I was reading were very confused by this film and were trying to read too deep into it. This guy was just a fucking lunatic.
Why was he there? Who cares? And that's exactly it. And that's why people are putting comparisons to older films that didn't give a fuck. Michael Myers, we just knew he was a psycho. We didn't need a motive. And Norman Bates, and I'm not trying to steal from it. I just like all this shit. Like, and what we're doing now is we're so used to being spoon-fed an explanation for everything that people can't seem to accept it when there's no explanation. And it wasn't a gimmick. It wasn't a cheat. It wasn't a cop-out that there was no explanation. It was fucking cool.
Yeah.
I love the setup. I love the setup. I love the fact that she's a writer. They explain how her mind works. I know they kind of feed that to you, but it doesn't even feel forced because she's having a conversation with her friend at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. It's great. I love that relationship.
Yeah, and I gotta say, she's phenomenal in it.
Oh, she is phenomenal. I did find it a little forced at the beginning, just a little bit, but
just a little.
I know.
I know what you're saying, but I love when she's saying that it's like a movie in her head with every different ending.
So cool.
So it sets it up because like she's gonna be playing these scenarios out in her head, but she was terrific. I mean,
no, she was phenomenal. The directing is top notch, except for a quibble that I think I could talk about before spoilers, but I'll see where the conversation goes. But there are scenes that actually all my little quibbles bring. If I took a half point off, let's say for all of them, there's certain things that happen in the movie that almost bring tears to my eyes that they're done so well that I actually think it almost erases some of my problems with the film. And the problems with my film are not like I'm probably overstating problems. But the things I took issue with. But I just think there's some things that were just done so amazing.
Yeah, I take issue with one thing, and we'll talk about that in spoilers. But and it just if you guys are able to even justify it a little bit, because I could even answer it myself and kind of justify it a little bit. I might even go up another half a point. But nitpicking tiny things, like I don't know why. I thought it was funny, like when she threw the flashlight off the roof, it looked like she chucked it like Tom Brady, like 800 yards.
Oh yeah.
I was like, how far did that thing go? But like I literally, like it actually didn't go that far because clearly he walked to it and then he was back in like 2 seconds.
But the subtleties of just seeing like the carved out, like you just
on the shotgun.
Down, you see her looking down at the crossbow.
Yeah,
and you instantly, you don't need an explanation. You just see that the number crossed out, and you just realize that he just killed that many people. She was next on the list, or not on the list, just next in line, and it just happened to be. Like, it was great, man. Those things, the subtleties of that, just the way he like would stabbed into the car. The tires are going down.
I think everyone's actions were. You weren't talking to any of these characters. I mean, you could say the one thing is like, why don't you just kill her? He makes it clear from the beginning that he wants to torment her.
Yes.
That's why he doesn't just go right in.
This is the final act of a slasher movie played out with the final girl and the killer as a feature-length movie.
Exactly.
And it works, and she comes out, and I didn't think I'd say this, to finally become one of the best final girls we've seen in a long fucking time.
Yes.
I'll say it that strong that I'm like, okay, finally someone that can give Ginny a run for her money, because I was like, wow, finally. Now, you don't get the setup that would get her to that spot. Well, you do, but it's just done quickly.
Very quickly.
So I don't know if that's too bold of a statement, but that's what I thought of. I'm like, finally.
I think it's a fair statement. She's very rational. You're never like, why are you doing that? She's doing everything that you would think should be done given the situation.
Dave, you seem quiet.
What's that?
You seem quiet. I wasn't sure if you're like, well, go fuck that.
Who?
You.
I have a lot to say. Believe me, I have a lot to say going back to when we first started talking about it. I'm fucking...
All right, come on in. Tell us. What do you...
I will tell you. I will.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. You better wet your whistle.
Nice. Wet your whistle and bleach your asshole. Shit. So removing. Okay, no. Before that, the pacing. There was a few times the first time I saw it where I was just about to get to that mode where I was gonna say, okay, I need more, or 1.5's gonna start popping in my mind. Almost didn't get there. There was just enough. Isn't that weird that for me there was just enough happening? Like the first half hour I loved because I love seeing, this is a deaf mute girl. You don't see that. Seeing how she's living, talking on the phone with the thing, and then you see him in the background. That was a good scene. There was always just enough. Like every 10 minutes, something kept me interested. And that's what separates us from movies. So for me, it's weird that you guys kind of had that reaction. And I didn't get that at all. It's just like, just enough happened. And they were so smart to keep it at fucking an hour and 21 minutes. That's what's smart about this.
Yeah, Randy even shorter than that, too.
Right, yeah.
That's like with 5 minutes of credits. This movie flew.
Yeah, absolutely. It was perfectly paced. I mean, if it would have been an hour and 30, hour, 40-minute movie, fuck that. It would have been a dog. I would not have liked that. But they were smart. They made a short movie. They had just enough going on. They had good fucking violence when they needed to have it. That you were sympathetic with the shit. It was great. Now, here's my quibble that I bet nobody thought about. Because I think we've all said our quibbles, right? I think that
I haven't said my main quibble, but that's more of a spoiler.
Okay. So. Well, here's mine. Mine's quite simple. In the beginning, when he kills the first girl, what's her name? Beth? Sarah?
Her friend, yeah.
Sarah, yes.
Fred?
Her friend. Fred, yeah. Fred.
Did you say Fred?
I said her friend.
Oh, I thought you said... Yeah, Sarah. Yeah, her friend, Fred.
Okay. Sarah gets fucking butchered, which it's another thing. That was a great fucking kill of that girl. It was almost hard to watch. It was so
It was. Because even though she was in it for like 2 minutes, you liked her. She was like a nice person.
Yeah, I did like her, and it was just like, man, it actually kind of got me a little.
Yeah.
But it was so convenient that fucking Maddie, that's her name, right?
Maddie.
All right, I'm good. I'm all right. Okay. Yep. Maddie just happened to be fucking deaf. It was a well-done scene. She's doing stuff in the kitchen, not realizing the fucking ridiculously fucking crazy scene that's going on right behind her with her friend. Well played. But the killer didn't know that fucking chick was deaf. Took him a little time to find out. It just seems like a rather aggressive move to do. He wasn't trying to hide it at all. Boom. Anybody else, if you saw that at your fucking back door, you would, within fucking 10 seconds, you would be fucking dialing 911. And fucking people would be swarming. That's my only quibble.
Well, I think the interpretation, the simple explanation is that if she wasn't deaf, he probably would have just smashed right in then and killed her. He knew. He obviously knew.
He didn't know. He didn't find out till later. Don't you remember? Because he was knocking on the thing and he discovered that she was deaf. That happened like right after that scene.
Yeah, but he probably figured at that point, like, how did she not hear or see this? Like, because she was banging on the door.
Yeah, but when he's whacking the chick, he first got up there right away, and he's fucking around with Sarah. He had no clue who was in that house he was going to be banging up against. That's the point.
He saw she was standing right there in the kitchen.
Yeah, but that's what I'm just saying.
I think that's what he said. Well, the girl's running up, screaming. He shoots an arrow to try to shut her up. It gets her, and then he goes to finish it with a knife. Yeah, she's standing there, and then he's kind of perplexed as to why she hasn't reacted to it. I think they did it. I know what you're saying, Dave, but I think they handled it quickly enough that he's like, even he, as he's stabbing her, realizes like, okay, now this girl hasn't reacted inside. What the hell? And he starts knocking on the window, and
he starts playing the games with the computer like right afterwards, where he's in the house, he's taking the pictures, he's standing right behind her, he's tapping the knife. Yeah, it was great.
It was great.
Literally went right to it.
I didn't think much about it the first time. The second time I noticed. The third time I looked for it. And I can't change the way I feel. That's the one, and it's a minor quibble, but I think it's the only one I have.
I think we're looking at it as a quibble because we know the story setup is that she's deaf. But if she wasn't deaf, then it wouldn't be a movie.
Yeah, I know.
It'd be a short. It'd be like a 3-minute movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he would have just gone in and killed her.
Yeah.
Roll credits.
And his explanation there, or his way of talking to her, explains the whole reason. Because I think maybe some people, where that frustration came from. Who was it that said they were very frustrated from it on our Facebook page?
Who did?
Oh yeah, somebody was frustrated.
Okay, well,
yeah,
I'm sorry, but so that maybe the frustration came from the fact that he didn't use a rock and just smash his way in to get her. But I think that was the whole thrill of the chase and thrill of the hunt or whatever, and said he could come in whenever he wanted to, but that wasn't his point.
Yeah.
So
he was having fun. It was fucking cat and mouse, and that was his game.
And that's exactly it. And so I didn't have an issue with that because that was kind of explained.
Look, nobody takes that issue with like the movie The Strangers.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
That's true. Home invasions, a lot of them are like that.
Yeah,
right?
most of the home at any point, the home invasion movies are more scary when they're drawn out because it's like terrifying. It's just torture. It's like it would almost be nicer to just kill them all instantly and just be done with it.
Yeah, that's the game. That's the game. And I'll tell you what, as far as him removing the mask, I thought that after the first time I saw it, but after the second and the third, I was like, no, I get this now. It's him. Once that's made, they both know it that one of them two has to fucking die by the end of that night. It just adds something else. Now you've seen the face. It's fucking on now, and that's it. It seems like that made it more personal once the mask came off.
Yeah.
But that's what I thought, though. The first time I saw it, I'm like, man, even if you would have put it back on. Then the more I thought about it, I'm like, nah, put it back on. I don't think that would have worked. Could he have done it later? Maybe. Maybe Christian's right about that. Maybe wait till the third act. But then that gag wouldn't have worked quite as well, I don't think. Plus, it set up the whole thing with him being able to portray himself as a cop later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the cinematography, again, the lighting was awesome. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. My wife was like, "It's too damn bright. What is there a big full moon?" And she's able, like, he's seeing every move. Like when she steals, I'll do a little side tangent, or not tangent, but side story. So when she gets hold of his weapon, I love that whole scene of her trying to, what is it?
Learn it, figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out, like load it for the most part, and having such problem, like not once, not twice, not lucky 3 times, and she gets it. It happens like she probably seemingly tries it 10, 12 times, still to ultimately no avail. But as he's watching her from the outside, and she's in the washroom again, I had no issue with this, but it was interesting to hear my wife going, "Oh, this moonlight is so darn bright that he could see like everything that's happened in that." Because it would be pitch black. I go, "Honey, it's a movie. Like it's nighttime in a movie. This is what they do." I mean, I had no issue with it, but she did bring it up.
How about that? I was complaining at one of the times I watched it because I was having difficulty. I didn't realize that she got shot that fucking one time with the fucking arrow when she ran out there. That's how dark I thought it was.
You know what, though? I think they did do that a little weird. Because both times I watched it, it's almost like they do with sound effects. She reacts, and then they show the arrow. Yeah, and then they show the arrow afterwards. But, yeah, no, there's some great... That whole sequence was, I thought, done great. I didn't have a problem with the lighting. I thought it was great. But my wife did. But I loved... That was, like, I thought, a very important scene to building her strength as the final girl and her character as well, and that just that will, the survival instinct and will to live kicked in, and that fight.
Yeah, it pushed it along really well because you knew at that point, and she knew, and he knew because he was basically playing the game where he was going to wait for her to bleed out and then go in and kill her, and she's like, "I gotta do something or else I'm going to bleed to death." That
was great. All the fucking the whole writer's brain thing and coming up with the different scenarios and.
My last quibble. That was my
you didn't like that?
My third quibble. No, I loved the talking to each other. Should have just been done in her head. I hated the multiple characters. I hated her talking to herself physically. like it coming out and her actually having a conversation.
I like seeing
herself.
that because she was mute the whole movie, so it was cool to see her fucking with words coming out of her mouth.
I the first time I didn't like it, and the second time I sat quietly, and my wife said, "Oh, this is horrible," and she's like, "Oh, she liked the talking." Hearing the voice, and I agree, the voice was all we needed. I thought the visual of seeing her talk took it just down a notch for me both times. You're talking about You Can't Let It Go from the kill of the friend at the beginning, which we're not. It's not really a spoiler because that's like a kind of like
right.
what sets up the movie for the most part. But this part was one of the things I can't let go. I'm not saying it ruined the movie. It probably affects the score ever so slightly. But ever so slightly. And it's just a quibble that I have with it. I don't think it was necessary to go that far. I thought the voices in her head were enough.
Never crossed my mind. You know?
Yeah, I didn't think twice about it. I mean, I actually, thinking about it now, I like the idea of it just being a voice, but definitely doesn't affect the grade for me.
I'll tell you what, man. I've seen so many movies with the voices inside the head that this is something I haven't seen before. I'm sure it's been done, but I mean, it's not as conventional as just hearing the voices. So I think maybe I dig it because of that as well. It's just not something I'm used to seeing. But I could see, it's different strokes. That's all. It's just simple as that when it comes to that.
Yeah, it didn't bother me at all.
That's how we are, though. That's what I noticed. Certain things, you let certain things go in certain movies, and you let other things go in other movies. But everybody has like their own ways, their own things that they do it with. It isn't everybody always doing it with the same things. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's weird because I was reading on IMDb, and one of the things that's listed as an error actually isn't an error or a goof. Isn't really a goof in the movie. I think people are just confused by it. And
Can you say it now, or do you have to
I guess I could say it. It's when Sarah's boyfriend shows up at Maddie's house.
What about that? What a great sequence there.
Yeah.
Great sequence, but the first thing he does is he knocks on the door, but he's calling for Sarah, who can hear.
Yeah, so
Right,
they're thinking that so people are saying, well, why is he knocking on the door? She can't hear him. But he's obviously looking for his girlfriend who can hear.
Yeah, because it's written that later he references to the killer that, oh, she's deaf, she wouldn't have been able to answer, or she's a deaf mute, she wouldn't have been able to call 911. So it was just, it's not a goof at all. I was paying attention to everything. I'm like, okay, he's knocking on the door. He's calling for Sarah because he thinks she's there because they live right next door. It's not that far. She evidently walked there. It took her like a minute or two to get there. I thought that scene was played out really well.
Yeah.
I liked the way it played out.
Oh, definitely, right to the end.
I thought it played out. I thought it played out honestly like perfectly, and I liked the way the killer. I like his dialogue about that scene, and the way it played out. I'm trying to be a little more cryptic with this. I don't want to kind of spoil this scene.
I hear you.
Look, it's a short film. It moves pretty quick, so you kind of, the first half, I get if people are a little like, all right, come on, get on with it. But the whole setup of him saying he can come in at any time, but he's not going to until he's tortured her enough.
That's awesome. I love it.
and then the second half comes and it's intense.
Bam. Well, okay. My half is my half. I can't fucking talk, man. My head is half blown. On the spoilers. How's that sound?
Oh, what about you, Brandon? Yeah, we're just you get to say it, Dave. We don't get his voice here. Oh, the spoilers.
Say whatever the fuck you want. That's I just said it first.
On the first view, I had a half a head exploding. On the second view, the other half started to rumble a little.
Right. I'm with
so
you.
I might have a head and a half, or a half.
Right.
A half and 3/4 of a. What the hell am I trying to say? 3/4 of a head exploding. And again, once we get into the spoilers, just one thing, one scene.
Okay.
They were just, and that's the only thing where it took was like, no, it shouldn't have. It didn't play out right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think that's the same thing I'm thinking of too. It's just when I compare it to the, like, I don't know. I really love this movie, but yeah, there's a couple of things that have just kept it from being the absolute classic that it can be. So I'm going to say I'm maybe my number rating might go against what I'm saying here, but I'll say half a head blown.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember what
Yeah.
the numbers are associated with these head explosions.
So, you guys seem like you were holding back a few things. To me, honestly, the only things you can spoil is the very end, but why would you anyway?
Well, I mean, we could start with, with spoiling, the scene with Sarah's boyfriend showing up, and,
right.
she obviously didn't mean to, but I thought that scene was played out really well. Nobody did anything stupid, and in the end, it was just Maddie's mistake that got him killed.
I love that shit.
Because he was about to rock him. He was gonna knock him out.
Yes, he was.
I love the way the killer says, "There's no way." I'm sorry. And I like the way he says, "It's done. It's done." Right after he says it in the neck, and he's still coming at him. He's like, "It's done. It's done. Like stop."
Yeah,
but
he fights right to the end too.
It's such a great scene. Yeah. He pretends like he's out, and then tackles him. He tries to he's telling her to run, and then she has that whole play out in her head of what would happen if she run, how far she'd make it.
Well,
awesome.
That's the best part, because then one of the best parts, because then he gets hit. I'm like, oh, this is taking a turn, and then he keeps bashing her fucking skull in, and my mouth. My head did explode there. My mouth dropped everything. I'm like, what the fuck? And my wife had the exact same expression. And then
she turns.
Her head turns, and she starts talking to the camera, and that's when I'm like, no. Because I liked it, because I got head faked, but I just thought they could slam cut back to her, say, you can't run, or whatever like that. And then the voices could have kicked in. So I understand that was the directing decision. That was the director's choice to take that route. That was his introduction to the route, and it explains it, and he's able to do it, and he can do whatever the hell he wants, and some people are going to buy into it and not take issue with it. On the other hand, I didn't like it.
I think that probably has something to do with the fact that she's playing a deaf character. So, like Dave said, they want to give her a voice and an opportunity to do some dialogue in the movie. Yeah. And plus, the director even said that he added sounds to the scenes of silence, like ambient sounds. I think he said to use like ultrasound machines and stuff, because he was afraid if it was dead silence that the audience would be distracted and withdrawn from the film. So even even just the opening scene, like going all the way back there, just the opening scene of the food cooking, the sizzling, and the all the sounds and everything.
Well, although Dave jokes around and says I joined the circus, my real job involves hearing.
Yeah.
And I thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
So I thought that they did that amazingly. And yes, I can understand why they might have wanted to give her a bit of a speaking role and whatever. I still think the decision, I would have liked it done differently, but that's me. And
yeah. See, those things, I get it. And I honestly, now that you're bringing them up, I actually agree with you on all of them. Especially the head turn. I didn't mind so much her talking to herself, but if it was in her head, the head turn on the kill, a flashback right to her would have been fine, saying you can't run. Even if it was her talking to herself inside the house, fine. But again, they're not going to affect my grade. The major issue I have, the hand crunching scene.
Oh, what? It was awesome.
Yeah, I have no issue with that.
No, I had no issue with that scene. The scene is phenomenal. It's brutal. He's holding the door shut. She's trying to pull it open. He steps on her hand. He's holding that door shut. Right at the end of that scene, he lets go of the door. She reaches up, closes the door, locks it. Then he scoots down and says, I'm coming in. He had the door open. I know he had just gotten shot with the arrow. I could buy it if he was just a little off at that time, like he wasn't 100% sure if he was coming in. But he was controlling that door. He was holding it shut on her hand, so he could have easily opened it and killed her there. So the fact that he was coming in the very split-second next scene kind of threw me off, because it's like, you just had an opportunity to literally just pull the door open. So why did you let her shut it, lock it, and now you're coming back?
I see what you're saying, and now I'm going to have to see that scene again to play it out again. But I thought that, although, yes, it got slammed on her, she fought, got it shut, and locked it again. But maybe
no,
didn't play
because he was holding it shut. She was pounding on the door while the hand was shut, and you could see him pulling it shut and just like kind of tormenting her with it, which I could buy totally. Like, even if he let the door go, and kind of took a step back, and she was able to push it shut and lock it, fine. If maybe another 5 or 10 minutes of torture took place, but he literally came down then because he had just gotten shot.
Well, you know what though? I think it's the same thing as the beginning. I think he saw what he's done. She's in massive pain. She's been shot with an arrow. She could bleed out. Her hands all fucked up. She just looks at him and he just said, "Now it's time." Like, yeah, he could have just easily have come in, but I think it just adds that extra bit of psychological assault to her, like that. She thinks she's safe for a second, locked the door, and then he leans in and says, "Now I'm coming in." The look of sheer terror in her face at that moment in time.
You know what? I could really buy that, because it's almost like, opening the door would just be too easy. I'm going to let you shut it, and then I'm going to torture you by bashing this door in.
Yeah, which, I don't know. That is one of my favorite scenes, when she beelines it back to the computer. I don't know, the way it was filmed, the musical choice that they chose.
The music was phenomenal.
She says, "Mom, Dad, her sister, whatever, died fighting," or whatever like that. And that music, and you just see the shattering of the door behind him. I honestly, when I remember going, like, fucking sitting up when I was watching it the first time by myself, going, "Fuck yeah!" And I don't even have a problem admitting that. And then when I was telling my wife when we were watching it together, I'm like, "I love this scene." She goes, "Are you crying?" I'm like, "No," but I guess I got choked up because I love the way that they filmed it, and just the sheer energy and just her determination and just the build up there. I guess I was just like, "Oh, I just fucking love this scene."
The way she writes his height, right? She's like, he's like, even if he kills me, he's not going to do this to someone else. He's getting caught. Like, she was going to get him one way or another. Yeah, it was such a good scene.
It was great. And
what did you guys think of the bathtub scene?
I was just gonna say that in the bathtub scene.
The bathtub scene I thought was great. I haven't read it yet, but I'm waiting for somebody to write, like, "Oh, that's ridiculous. She did like a Neo from the Matrix." I don't know why. I'm just thinking somebody's gonna write that, but it's only because she felt the breath on the back of her neck.
And I had no problem with this either. At first, the first time I saw it, funny enough, David, that's when I'm like, "Am I not seeing this right? Is the lighting not bright here?" So he somehow gets in, and I know we don't want to spoil everything and whatnot. We don't have to spoil everything, but the reality is this: if breath causes the chain reaction, chain of events that occurs, don't you think debris and other things would have maybe tipped her off as well?
It did look like he was blowtorching out there.
Doesn't it look like there's like debris falling down at first?
Yeah,
I assumed it was drywall or ceiling.
I think it's glass, because there was a window in there.
Okay, well, that's what my wife said. She goes, "I could have understood it more if there was a window in there." And I'm like, "Oh," and then I didn't remember. I thought he was coming through almost from the upstairs down and breaking through somehow. But again, it was a what? But because it was so cool, I was almost more forgiving of it. But it is probably, out of everything we talked about, one of the bigger what moments in the movie.
Yeah,
I guess you're right. I never thought of that. But the scene was so great, I didn't care. I guess that's what it is. It just was fucking overshadowed by...
If it plays out well, yeah, you don't care. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's... Oh, and you're right, Dave. I don't even know if we want to go right to the bitter end of this, because you don't want to spoil... But the payoff is like perfection.
Oh.
Perfection.
Yeah, dude. It's great.
Editing, filming... everything you want. I think I, by myself, went, "Yeah!" again. And I don't do that often.
Right. That's cool. Wow.
I cheered out loud to myself, and I'm like, wow. I got mad at myself for feeling like I was like, oh, at that 30-minute mark, I was like, come on, movie, get on with it. Because I enjoyed it up to that point. And then all of a sudden I was like, okay, we need something. And then boom, it kicked into high gear, and I'm like, nope. I'm with it, and that's why I feel like my half-head explosion earlier might kind of not necessarily coincide with the number that I give the movie.
Yeah, I'm confused now. Wow.
Yeah, I was very impressed with the sound, with the audio in the movie. It's even in the corkscrew scene, just the gasping for air. He's it's so real, so lifelike.
Oh.
And how about when she was seeing the pictures. I mean, it's kind of cliche, but I thought it was fucking cool.
Wait, what scene? I'm sorry. What
When
scene?
she was flashing
scene
to the
you're talking
fucking,
about.
seeing her life before her eyes.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
I didn't think it was cliche. Yeah, it's you say you see your life flash, but the way they did it with the flat, and the heartbeat, because then you're going in her mind. Because what's she going to hear? She's going to hear her. See, we are talking about it because you can't not talk about it. Who cares? We're in the spoiler segment anyway.
Yeah, we can.
So everybody saw the movie. We're checking this part in anyway. So what difference does it make? That scene was perfection. And when she grabs that and right through his neck, you can't help but just go like, oh. It's a great moment.
Yeah,
it is totally, man. Yeah,
you know, and people, and I read a few people critical about the fact that she was making sounds after she was choked. Like she was.
I heard that. Yeah, I noticed it today.
But she's still able. You still make sounds. Like she was even making a few sounds even when she was. You
make sounds. It doesn't mean you don't have any.
She had paralyzed vocal cords. They set that up well. It was written on a book, and they mentioned it a few times that she had meningitis, and she basically lost her voice and lost her hearing, and then lost her voice. And but she was still making sounds. You could hear her breathing. You could hear her kind of making muffled sounds when she was applying the tourniquet and the alcohol to the leg wound.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that scene was fucking cool.
But everyone's like, wait, I read a few things like, wait, did she get her voice back at the end? Could she hear? Like no, like what are you doing? Stop.
That didn't bother me at all.
Don't look too deep into this.
Right, man.
They're like, oh, she smiled at the end. Does that mean she could hear? No.
I'm cured.
I can hear, bitches.
Yeah.
Governor, hey, Governor, what day is it?
It's Christmas Day. Oh, so it's Christmas Day.
Yeah, where'd I get Governor from? Governor.
Because you just assume because they're English that everyone's like, hey, Governor. What you doing over there, love?
Oh, fuck. Oh, that's crazy.
Those wacky English.
That's what they do in what do you call it? I mean, Conjuring 2. Back to that.
Governor?
Hey, Governor, we've got a ghost in this here house.
Oh, man.
Throw me a shilly to kill it.
Oh, shit. Wow.
So I have a question. Do you think, because I know Stephen King, I read that he was really impressed with this film. Did this guy get attached to a Stephen King project before or after this quote?
Ooh. Interesting.
Because it even says here, Stephen King tweeted about the film on April 20th of this year, saying, how good is 420? Yeah. Take a drink.
Whenever on 420? Yeah.
He says, how good is Hush? Up there with Halloween, and even more, Wait Until Dark.
Wow.
That's some high praise.
Yeah, it is. King does that shit now and again, doesn't he?
Hey, I mean, I don't disagree with him. I mean, I'm not comparing this with any other movie, but this was phenomenal.
Right, and how strange that it was fucking right to fucking Netflix, right to,
This is something I would have paid to see.
Oh, I would have loved to see this in the theater. It is weird.
This would have had people clapping and cheering at the end.
Oh, you know what? I'll say this: the poster art, someone should have cropped it a bit more. It's a little cheese looking where her head is framed. I know this is a real quibble, but from a marketing standpoint, I remember when I was like playing around with it. I don't know where I had the poster art, but I had it, and I just cut it more central on her nose, and it made the poster art look that much better. Just a side note, because I actually thought the poster art made the movie look a little silly.
It's hard to masturbate just to a nose.
Yeah. I'll do a before and after on the Facebook page where we get ready to launch this episode.
Oh, we'll launch.
Drop it. Okay.
At the pre-party.
Drop this episode on your head.
At the pre-party launch.
Yeah.
Exploding head launch.
There you go.
Yeah, and this was a Blumhouse film.
Yeah, it is a Blumhouse film. Yep. She has a weird look on her face, I think, and on the poster. Maybe that's what threw you off. I don't know. But
I think he's got a finger in her tush. And that's why she's making that. Like, whoa.
Yeah, they're reenacting the Michael Myers scene in Halloween 2 when he lifts that girl up and she has that look on her face with the needle. Nurse, whatever the fuck her name was. Oh, shit. I'll tell you, she's a pretty girl, too. She has nice lips. Whatever her name is.
Maddie.
Maddie, don't you think?
Kate Siegel.
Kate Siegel. Yeah.
Yeah, no, she's awesome. She's great in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Attractive woman as well, but yeah, no, just fantastic in this movie.
Yeah, when you
Great
think,
all
like, it's hard. She's carrying a film, without pretty much any dialogue. It's a pretty, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to think dialogue.
How are you trying to say?
We rubbed you off on you.
Restricted.
I know.
Yeah, I'm stroking out like Dave all of a sudden.
I know.
Minimal dialogue, let's just say. It's very action driven and
Exploding head, stroke out.
stroke your exploding heads.
I'm Dave Z.
Hey, I'm Dave Z. I'm Dave Z.
That's why we're exploding heads, because we're stroking out slowly.
I got some eye, nose, and ear bleeding. Or as Dave likes to say, eye, nose, and throat bleeding.
No, I always say that. I gotta see the ENT.
That's right. It's eyes, ears, and nose. I got it, remember?
I go ear, nose, and throat.
Just the doctor you went to last Tuesday. The fucking...
For a blowjob.
Dr. Lipshits fucking got you.
Lip shits.
Hey!
Lip shits. Dr. Vinny Dubats.
Oh,
Lip shit.
I don't know. Sounds like a doctor fucking Brandon would go to. I went to Lipshits on 23rd Street.
I'm sure there is a Dr. Lipshits.
I'm pretty sure there is.
See? They cleared me. I'm all right. My hearing's coming back. I'm gonna be in hush too.
Lip shits. I'm sorry.
I gotta say, I love those scenes that happened that happened in movies, that happened in this one when that John dude showed up and she cost herself her fucking out. I love when that shit happens in horror movies.
Yeah, man.
Right?
I agree. And she didn't even mean to, because she didn't see the guy because he was bending over it,
That's
looking
it.
for the key.
Seems like that.
And she tried to call out to him or bang out to him, and that was the end.
Whoa, this was a porno. She was banging out to him. Finger banging out.
Oh, fuck.
We're starting to get delirious now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right.
We haven't even graded it yet. Should I start?
Yeah. Well, unless someone has something else.
Lip shit.
What did you say? Someone have someone else? Yeah, you can grade unless someone has something else.
It's like people are going to be like, what the fuck happened to these guys?
I know, right? Holy fuck.
Dave's getting better because he's getting higher, and Christian and I are just getting tired.
Yeah. I'm still hung up on lip shits.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I believe my father, when he was younger, had a girlfriend named Beth Lipschitz. So I really think so. So
this time I got your vibe. You got my vibe earlier.
I'm gonna ask him if he keeps in contact with her. If she's a doctor.
Have her on the show.
Dr. Lipschitz. Yeah, we'll have an interview with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to see that ENT Dr. Lipschitz last week. 2 months to live.
2 months to live. Why do I sound like a 90-year-old man?
I wasn't doing you.
That was just... Oh, that's not me. That's just some random...
Brandon, it was me. I did the asshole. I'm gonna fucking gut him with a fucking knife. He gave me 2 months to live. I challenged myself.
I challenged myself to live 3. It's like I watch an extra obscure movie.
So you gonna review this or not, Brandon? Jesus.
Yeah, I was just waiting for Dave to...
Just shut the fuck up.
Alright, so the first time I watched it, I didn't really think much about it. I thought it was a great movie, solid film, and I was at an 8 out of 10. So I decided on the second viewing I was going to really, really pay attention, see if there's anything that, could bump it up or what I'm really taking points away from. And besides that door scene, which you can almost just justify, because he had just been shot with an arrow, so he could be out of it a little bit mentally. I really find very little wrong with this film, so I'm giving it a 9 out of 10.
I'd say that's a full head exploded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was really impressed with this film, and I was even more impressed because the first time I saw it was in the midst of a lot of hype, a lot of people saying, "Oh, you got to see Hush, you got to see Hush." So, and not that it usually affects it, but sometimes, films can be a little overhyped, but this one did not disappoint.
Well, I'm kind of pretty much right on track with you. First time I saw it, I was like, I enjoyed that. Here are my 4 things, and if I took a half point off at each, I'd be hitting it an 8. Then I'm like, that's probably being a little too hard on the movie because I really liked it. And on top of it all, I really liked The Invitation, and I think I might like Hush as much, if not more. So then I'm like, well, then I can't give it an 8 because I gave The Invitation, I believe, a 9.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm at right now. I've watched it twice. I've watched Hush twice. I think I'm coming in at a 9.
Nice.
As well. So my head. That's why I said I don't think it was going to match because my head is fully exploded. Once again.
Nice.
Full rectal explosion.
As well.
Rectal. Yeah.
Rectal. Full rectal bleeding.
Oof. Better bleach that asshole. I'll tell you something. This movie went up each time I watched it. And
watch it a few more times, it'll be a 15.
20
it's now up to a 17 out of 10.
The flaws that I thought I noticed the first time ended up fucking not being there. I was like, okay, no, that worked out well. No, okay, there's a reason for that. All right. Because there was a couple of things I wasn't, sure about, and there's other things I started to like more as well. So it kept going up. Yeah. Oh, a really good movie. Fucking Flanagan is fucking on a roll. I love this dude. You
took a really weird pause there. You're like, really good movie. Fucking Flanagan.
Father Flanagan. Flanagan's on a roll, man. That's all I could say. Fucking 3 movies, three solid. So, but I didn't come at a 9. At this point it's an 8.5, so whatever. I'm just a tad below, but yeah, it's a fucking great movie, man. It's great stuff. You know what I liked that when none of us brought up? When she starts fucking taunting him at the end and she's like, "It's on, motherfucker." He gave it to her earlier when he took the mask off and gave her the shit that was like he was fucking throwing it out. It's on.
Yeah, we didn't actually talk about it because she's reaching down into her own wound and pulling out her own blood and right to do it, coward.
Yeah.
Yes.
In her own blood. Like,
so cool.
Yeah. That was a great scene. Yeah, this movie it really did so many things so well.
It was one good sequence after another to me.
Yeah.
It really was. It was just
I'm very impressed. This is definitely a director to continue watching.
Yeah, hey, by the time the year end comes around, I might be at a 9 too. But I mean, after this conversation and
yeah, I got right now I have 3 films that I've given a 9 between this, The Invitation, and The Witch, and I mean all 3 drastically different, but all 3 phenomenal for what they are. So it's I think this year is shaping up really well. As I said, I've only seen 16 films, but I'm not going for the same numbers I did last year. That's just ridiculous. I'm going for quality, not quantity this year.
There you go. Definitely. So, yeah, I mean, by the way, The Witch. Has anybody watched it or no, since the Blu-ray came out?
I have to buy the Blu-ray. I still haven't bought it. I haven't bought movies in a while.
Christian,
I'm behind. I do want to watch it again because of where I left off, kind of a cliffhanger from that show, and then the one after when I went back and said, maybe I was a little too gung-ho with it. But with all this found footage stuff, and normally I don't watch the movies twice for the show, but I really enjoyed The Invitation. I really enjoyed Hush.
Yeah.
So I was like, I had no problem watching them twice, and I'll probably watch them like a few more times. I really enjoyed these movies. So I just been rewatching stuff, and now with tackling that new podcast as well, it hasn't left me a large amount of time to go back and watch some of the other movies, but I'll get there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you're watching a lot. All those small footage movies. You can do it. Shit. We're slowly getting there.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna tackle Hangman, just based on.
oh yeah, that's good.
Make sure you have a spotter when you do that. It's a very dangerous maneuver.
Will
Yo,
do.
man. So let's get the hell out of here. Next show is another big one. Our first franchise retrospective. Man, it's the whole thing too. It's we're doing all 4 of them. We might even talk about that piece of shit unofficial fucking other one. But you know what we're talking about. Sleepaway Camp. We're doing 1, 2, 3, and Return. And yeah.
And yeah. I never saw Yeah. Is that the 6th one?
No, that's the 5th one. I said 1, 2, 3, Return, and yeah. See?
Oh, Yeah was the unofficial sequel.
Yep. It actually should be
Return to Sleepaway Camp. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, and no. Fucking that fucking piece of garbage. But yeah, it's gonna be a pretty exciting show. So yeah, we're gonna come in there and get right into that shit. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So
And
yeah.
And yeah.
So yeah, tune in next time for the Sleepaway Camp franchise show. Thank you everybody for listening.
And make sure you show up for that Hush pre-launch party.
Yeah, Exploding Heads pre-launching. Yep. Bleaching assholes, wetting whistles.
Brandon's fortes.
Oh man.
All right,
I got
guys.
nothing.
Take the show out. I always take it out. You guys say goodbye.
Everybody, have a great night.